To be behind Jordan?
But here's the thing about playing basketball, Kobe's not scared. Like, hey, here, you're playing basketball. He's not scared.
Yeah, let's go.
Not scared to do it forever. Up next, the Gronk party cruise docked safely.
Damn, he is shaky.
Break down all the disturbing footage to come out of the
that is
Oh, no, that's
I mean, the dance
that's
Gronk.
That is definitely a Gronk.
I mean, you imagine being on that cruise?
Nope.
Gronked out?
Nope.
Hell no.
Told you somebody should have waited in the car. Says there's a black car 3 minutes away. I'm not taking one.
They gave authorities the slip in a Prius. Now the 4 most wanted men in the world are stealing our hearts.
Is that us? I think that's us.
Public support is at a fever pitch. What started as amateur high school they gave authorities the slip in a Prius.
Now the 4 most wanted men in the world are stealing our hearts.
I think that's us.
Public support is at a fever pitch. What started as amateur high school they gave authorities the slip in a Prius.
Now the 4 most wanted men in the world are stealing our hearts.
Public support is at a fever pitch. What started as amateur high
is putting tremendous pressure on sidewalks here, so much so that cracks are actually appearing in the sidewalk. Cracks! Seismologists aren't sure how much longer this will take. Back to you, Bob.
Enjoy all our delicious classic footlongs for just $6 each. All February at Subway.
Does the smell of a freshly bound presentation fill you with optimism? Do you love your wireless keyboard more than certain family members? Is your success due to a filing system only you understand? Does printing from your tablet to your wireless printer give you a jolt of confidence?
If so, you may be gear-centric.
Someone who knows that the right office gear helps you do great things. And there's one place that has it all. Office Depot Office Max. Gear up for great.
So your grandma wants you to visit and help with a few things. But last minute traffic can be pricey. If you visit Priceline, get a great deal, and go.
It's perfect, honey. Help the man.
If you don't go.
Ta-da. Oh, that's perfect.
Hey, I'm going to order some pizza to celebrate. What's your social security number? Sometimes I ask.
Oh, it's 3,
3,
2, 3,
2, 3,
7,
7,
2.
Whatever is on the line. Priceline.
DiCaprio, Cranston, Redmayne, Fassbender, Damon. Who will be best actor? The battle for gold is on.
And the Oscar goes to...
All right.
One high-stakes showdown after another. The most unpredictable show. Chris Rock hosts The Oscars. Live Oscar Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC.
Attention Virginia voters, don't forget your photo ID when you go to vote this year. If you don't have a photo ID, learn how to get one for free at your local voter registration office or visit elections.virginia.gov. This message brought to you by the Virginia Department of Elections.
This is 911. What is your emergency?
Oh, I think my leg is broken. The car slightly went my motorcycle. I went into a ditch.
At Crandall and Cobb, attorneys at law, if you've been injured in an accident, we care. That means we will be at your side to help you, to answer your questions. And yes, to help you obtain the full and fair compensation you truly deserve.
For a free consultation, call Crandall and Cott, attorneys at law, today.
Attention Virginia voters, don't forget your photo ID when you go to vote this year. If you don't have a photo ID, learn how to get one for free at your local voter registration office or visit elections.virginia.gov. This message brought to you by the Virginia Department of Elections.
Sports Nation is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Virginia taking on Miami at 7 Eastern at 9. Why not? Iowa State, West Virginia, I see them. That'll also stream live on Watch ESPN on the ESPN app. You know what I noticed about black and white? Tell me. Yes, very. It says to me we're secure, but we're still fun. And we're going to give you information.
it's not even black and white, because look at the red.
That's a good
Oh,
pop of colors.
How artistic is that? You know, you paying attention.
Time for Post Innovation, presented by Toyota. We like to always end things with winners and losers. We do. We get prizes. First up, winner, Marcellus's Garage.
Hello,
Okay, the Clippers are wrapping up a custom Lexus RCF with a Doc Rivers voiced GPS system.
Know what it says if you go off course? What? Stop like salt. Stop like salt. Stop like salt. What is that, Austin? You're in. We're going to write
I feel like there's a lot of jokes, by the way. Round
You're
jokes.
at Wayne's house now. What the hell is this GPS going to tell me? It's going to make me want to stay in the car longer.
Michelle is right. It gets you to the second round.
Jimmy, are you going to make 2 turns? All right, we bet. Michelle, how did the Spurs game go against Clippers last time we played?
I don't know what month are we in.
Oh, really? Oh, last year when it was the playoffs. How did they go?
Last time I checked, it was
It
February.
is February.
Maybe I should get my Doc
I know
Rivers
it's a short month, but I'm pretty sure it's still February.
Well, actually, it's a leap year, 29 days. We'll take it.
Yeah, you imagine getting a Doc Rivers car and saying, coordinates to Oakland, Golden State. No, don't go.
Can I ask you a question? If you get this car, does Austin Rivers have to sit in the passenger seat?
Oh, in a car seat. Oh, in a car seat in the middle.
Maybe the horn is like Chris Paul crying. This car's that rock.
This is too easy for you. This is too easy. And then you can hit somebody with Blake's arm.
Sweet Moses. That is Pablo Sandoval. Some people in Boston are slightly worried. Just looking at it. Max, you're very mean to people.
Sure.
What do you say about
Want me to
this?
fat shame him? No
Yeah.
problem. Look, you can look like that if you're hitting. When he was in San Francisco, he was hitting. He could look anywhere he wants. When you stop hitting and you look like that, you're asking for
It's
it.
the greatest use of the crying face I've
That
seen
is.
so far.
Hey, don't let the fat fool you. That's what we always say when we're a little out of shape. In the older country, a belly meant you were blessed. And that's what it's
The old country.
In the
What are you
old
from the Shtetl in Eastern Europe somewhere?
Yes,
It's
a
like
little bit.
You, my Bubble, my Zeta, you're all from the Shtetl in the Union on the Dniester River.
Fat fool you, Max. Can he perform?
I don't know.
Not anymore,
It's
apparently.
frustrating.
Can't hit anymore.
Man, they gotta work some of that off. That's all it is.
My favorite
What's
part-
your excuse, Max?
Oh, snap.
Self. How dare you?
I got a little bit of that too.
I'm staying out of this. All the fat shaming tweets
Yeah,
go to
you're
me
right.
too.
You're right.
Winner, bad dance moves. If you're worried about what you might have missed by not going on the Bronx Party Cruise over the weekend, well, here's just a little bit of a taste of that. Does it make you sad?
Whoa. That whole background dancer crew. Yes, yes, yes.
I feel like he's in his own world when he dances.
Yeah.
He really is.
Well, he's certainly not with the rhythm and the
No.
beat. He's certainly in some other place.
Is he listening to the beat or the words?
Yeah.
What's the Eddie Murphy line?
The beat is tapping him on the shoulder like, hey, man, I'm here for you.
You know what I love about Gronk? All the Gronks. Somehow they have the best time and no one's in trouble.
Yeah.
This is the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah. And somehow, some way, Cam Newton can't dab. But this can happen, and I love this all the time. So let him go, man.
Are those
Let him
like,
have fun.
what was that glow-in-the-dark line of clothing back in the day? Was that
This Marcellus, he has to give away every football, every stick in the world.
Can you imagine? I would love to be on that cruise.
I bet you.
But it's a lot of Gronk dudes. You imagine all those Gronks?
There's a Papa Gronk up there
Lot of
somewhere
Gronks.
walking around with his shirt off.
Yeah.
It's just so much testosterone.
Now, that's a
these
whole
days.
cruise just for the Gronks? Or
Is
the other
Manziel there in costume, you think?
No, not this time, brother.
Not this time?
Not this time.
Yeah, hit bottom.
Max on that cruise would have been worth the money.
Not for all the
Gonna do it for us from Los Angeles. Hope you enjoyed our guest. It will be back tomorrow as well. See you
I
then.
like this guy.
I know, I like it too.
Welcome to another highly questionable work week. What do you like on the show today, Bo?
All the stuff Poppy did on the Gronk Party Cruise.
Oh, yeah, he got down. Vamos, Papi.
More impressive performance of the weekend. Damian Lillard, 51, crushing the Warriors. Of the Unibrow, 59 and 20 against Detroit.
We cannot enjoy performances and talk about great performances. We must pit them against each other, make one better than the other, even though they were both pretty exceptional. I'll go Lillard here because he did it in 30 minutes. 51 points in 30 minutes. No one has gotten to 50 faster than that. Kobe Bryant took more time in getting to 50 when he scored 81 than that. Scoring that fast against the Warriors, that much is pretty impressive.
Okay, so we got 59, and we got 20, and we got a team that needed every single one of those points because nobody else showed up to play in that game but Anthony Davis. I mean, Lillard was on a roll. It was pretty incredible. But when you look at what Anthony Davis did, there's just not going to be a day where I'm saying somebody did better than 59 and 20 without 60 and 21. And bless Anthony Davis's heart, by the way, because since he didn't make that all-star starter, in order to get that super extension, he's got to make an all-NBA team. This would be what they should be doing from now on for the rest of the season. Help Anthony Davis get his money because y'all ain't helping him get to the playoffs.
I thought that this guy was supposed to be the MVP. You guys have been praising him for years. You know, I mean, what he did in this game is the only time that he has shown up for a game.
Not the only time, but he's not yet 23 years old. It's pretty impressive, 59 and 20, no matter what age you are.
You are a special sort of hater these days. Like, you don't even have anybody to root for anymore. All you do is hate on people.
Hate on us.
Oh, he is too young. He is too young. He's in the NBA. Get out there and play like that every game.
Okay.
That's what you get paid for.
So that would be a pretty good season.
Yeah, average 59 and 20. Will, go ahead.
How do you imagine Bill Belichick felt watching these videos of Gronk and his party crew?
That was Belichick that he was trying to say. There you go, there you go.
Belichick. He did say Belichick.
Yeah, but they might not have known that's what he was saying. Anyway, Gronk had a party cruise this weekend. It was a cruise to go party with Gronk. Although 70% of the people on that boat didn't go to party with Gronk, they just wound up on Gronk's boat. What did they see when they wound up on Gronk's boat? Yes, that's Gronk.
Dancing poorly. The different music and what Flow Rider was singing about.
Yes, there's that. And I don't think that's so much dancing as much as like calisthenic expression. Also, at some point, he offered a couple $10,000 to have sex on stage.
That was on his island. That was not on the boat.
Oh, sorry.
That was on the wrong island.
What's most important in your mind right now?
That Rich,
what coaches tell players before puck drop. Let's play to our strengths. Let's stay with the plan. Up one, down one, doesn't matter. Stay with the plan.
What a life. What a life. What an amazing life that he manages to...
Nobody else in the history of sports has been granted this kind of leeway in terms of having fun. You remember the scandal we made out of that Viking sex boat? This was bigger. This had a lot more people on it. Now, granted, it wasn't prostitutes going over state lines, but you don't know that.
Do you think starting D'Angelo Russell for the rest of the season was actually Byron Scott's decision?
No, I do not believe that this was Byron Scott's decision. Byron Scott has had a weird relationship all year with D'Angelo Russell. He has sat him a couple times in the fourth quarter. He said he's okay with his confidence, but doesn't like when he seeps over into cockiness. Now he's playing the rest of the season as the starter. To my way of thinking, he should have been playing the entire season as the starter. This whole season, instead of a coach coordination, should have been about getting this guy as many minutes as possible.
No, like if he started for a game, I'd say maybe it was Byron Scott's decision. If he wound up lasting for 2 games, I'd say the same thing. When they say right now, this is what it's going to be for the rest of the season, that means there's a bit of a turn in what this season's about. This context said they only basically had time to celebrate Kobe this year. There wasn't room to do any of this other stuff. Somebody made a decision, hey, we need to start working with some of these young guys we got, because Kobe's going to be gone next year, and Byron Scott better be gone too.
Just because he's in the starting lineup, that doesn't mean that he gets to shoot. You know, those will have to say something about that.
Yeah, that's true, right? He could be in the starting lineup, but the 25 a game, that's still going to Kobe.
Hold on, he's used to being out there with swaying your feet since he was coming off the bench. He knows how to coach and taking all the shots.
Is it okay to shuffle like Paulo Santos training belly, or is that body shaming?
I mean, we normally don't start doing this until the combine. Somebody gets caught like Andre Smith running with no shirt on, right? Pablo Sandoval came out of spring training. He now plays for the Reds. If they told him to lose about 20 pounds, I mean, if he lost them, they're found.
Whoa! Third baseman for the Red Sox is 7 months pregnant.
I feel like they caught him at a bad angle. Like, this is bad, unfortunately, what we do to him. I mean, it's an issue because last year he had an on-base percentage of 290. The thing is, he used to be good and fat. Now that he's bad and fat, we're going to act like the fat's a problem. He used to be entertaining to us when he was hitting that he's fat. All he's got to do is hit. Then the fat don't matter.
We caught him in a bad angle.
I mean, look at it. No, put it back up. No.
I mean, no, it's a good angle. is a bad angle.
Video processor, James Winston and that picture of him. And making it worse, Captain America back there, the contrast between him and Sandoval, like, you know, a lot of things conspired against him in that photographic note.
I'm sure that'll go great, defining OPS for the last couple of years in Boston after signing a $90 million contract and being the worst defensive third baseman by range in the sport. That'll go fine, right?
I think that the camera has a bad angle on both of us, please.
Yeah, I know. It's not body shaming if me and my father do it to you. But I know Blanco does it to you. You're a little judgmental.
Hey, you doing things. It's not. Like, it's all play the games laughing at younger people till I do it. Then all of a sudden they get all offended.
That's right.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Jay Williams.
One night in particular, I hung out all night long, partied, and literally had to take the subway back to my apartment. And next thing I know, I woke up the next day in the corner of the subway in the same clothes I wore that night, curled up, and still hot from the night before, and drunk.
The all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Agile handling, available 12.3-inch navigation screen, and panorama glass roof. Never has luxury been this expressive. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Sunday Fun Day never gets old, which is why they live hard. Ish, with Henry's Hard Soda, an adult beverage that helps them go buck mile. Henry's Hard Soda, live hard. Ish.
So there's a family wedding coming up in New Mexico, but a nice hotel can be pricey. If there's a price line, get a great deal and go.
Hi, Amanda. Why don't you meet your second cousin Tim? He's moving out your way in a couple months.
Cool. So I guess your mom and my mom...
All I know is we're related.
If you don't go. Whatever is on the line. Price line.
People always ask me if these are an aphrodisiac. I don't know if they make me frisky. I am sure they are best right now in peak season, when flavor is big and price is small. So get to Joe's Crab Shack. It's oyster season. Mighty good here.
Millions of people have switched to Sprint this past year. And to celebrate, we're extending our 50% offer so you can save on most Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. Now save $200 instantly when you get the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 or GS6 and trade in your smartphone. So switch today.
Hey, diddle, diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon, then quickly fell back to earth, landing on the roof of a Dutch colonial. Luckily, Geico recently helped the residents with homeowners insurance. They were able to get the roof repaired like new. They later sold the cow because they had all become lactose intolerant. Call Geico and see how much you could save on homeowners insurance.
A wise man once said, sweat and body odor is your body's way of saying, hey, slow down. But thanks to New Dirt Destroyer, the most powerful Old Spice body wash ever made, my body will finally shut up and let me live. Is there a limit to how much living I can live with my life? And why would I spend my life savings on sunglasses for a whale?
Imagine the things you bought every day. Earn your miles to get to the places you really want to go. With the United Mileage Plus Explorer card, you get a free checked bag, 2 United Club passes, priority boarding, and 30,000 bonus miles. Everything you need for an unforgettable vacation. United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Imagine where it'll take you.
Brace yourself. The first ever GSF is here with a torque factory differential and a 467 horsepower V8 engine. It's the next expression of performance from Lexus.
Sundays, we stand out. We stand all 90 minutes. Sundays, we stand and shout. Sundays, we stand with game changers. With the future. Sundays, we stand in awe. Sundays, we stand as one. Major League Soccer is back Sunday, March 6th on FS1, ESPN, and Unimas.
Very good at basketball when he was a Duke, motorcycle accident you may know about. He's got a new book, Life is Not an Accident, a memoir of reinvention. It's out now. Let's talk to Jay. Jay, what did you say was the most painful part revisiting in the book? Because that process can be hard and you have to go back and do some of that stuff. The most painful thing is what?
Probably recounting the person I was when I was 21 years old, right? It's one thing now being 34, I look back on that person, I'm like, oh, I think it was nice. And then I start to hear stories from other people, and I'm like, wow, okay, I was kind of, wow, okay, maybe I was a little bit egotistical. Maybe I was into money and women the way I didn't think I was. It's the most painful part by far, just remembering all the things I had done wrong, and then trying to own those things and apologize to the people I had done wrong to.
Which story in particular cut deepest? Do you have one among all of them?
It'd probably be the life I started to live, you know what I mean, DL? Like, with the girl that I was with coming out of college. I cheated on her a ton, and I got very much lost into that pro lifestyle. Like, you know, look, I would see guys, you know, literally before they jump in a plane, kiss their wives, kiss their kids goodbye, and we would all go and we would go party, and then when we would come back, I would look their wives in the eyes like nothing ever happened, and they would too. And that was definitely the path I was going down, and kind of owning all my mistakes to her was something that was very cathartic for me to actually just not write down, but to have a conversation with her.
Well, even having nothing to hide, I imagine some things are harder than others to bring yourself to share. What's the hardest thing to bring yourself to share?
Probably talking about the domestic violence with my father. That was difficult with my mother and how she was going to deal with that. She was a guidance counselor for a while. And, you know, she had counseled so many people when they were going through their own issues with domestic violence. And the second one probably about my drug addiction. You know, being addicted to Oxycontin, even while I worked here for a short stint, because I wanted to mute out all the voices, and I was lost for a very long time. You know, initially I needed the Oxycontin for my leg and for my pelvis, but eventually I just needed it in order to survive random conversations with people that would remind me of the worst day of my life, and how that just kind of took a toll on my body. And that was probably the most difficult thing to talk about, because I'm just letting people know that I had major issues, and I was a shell of myself, and I was lost in a dark space for a long time.
When and how did you figure out that you had an addiction, that the Oxycontin was a problem?
I didn't really figure that out until years afterwards. It was one of those things that, you know, I was so angry at throwing away this one chance in my life to become something I thought was great. And it was just a way for me to suppress all that anger and all that pain and all that sadness. You know, the one thing that we never want to show as men, we never want to be vulnerable. And every day of my life, I had people that come up to me and remind me of my accident and the biggest mistake I made. So I would allow that before I got addicted to Oxycontin to send me into a deeper, darker spiral of depression. And Oxycontin was able to take me away from that. So it wasn't until after my second suicide attempt until I got to a point where I said, you know, what the hell am I doing with my life? Is this going to be my legacy? I weighed around 220 pounds. I was drinking every single day. And that night, before I fell down some stairs, I literally took 3 to 4 Oxycontin pills, and I drank a half bottle of Jack. It's over. And the next day I woke up, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm here for a reason. Maybe there's a bigger purpose. And I just started to, my brash ego came into effect, and I started to stop doing it, and I just started to find out what this life was like without the pills.
The most out-of-control day when it came to addiction looked like what? Was it that day, or was it another time?
No, a lot of out-of-control days. I would find myself randomly partying in New York City with people that I just randomly met that night out with friends. One night in particular, I had hung out all night long, partied, and literally had to take the subway back to my apartment. And next thing I knew, I woke up the next day in the corner of the subway in the same clothes I had wore that night, curled up, and still high from the night before, and drunk. So, you know, that was probably one of the worst days, because you wake up like, where the hell am I? What is happening right now? How did I even get to this point where I feel like I'm rock bottom? But it's amazing how, once again, you find a way to justify it, because sure enough, after that day was over, I got up, went back to my apartment, took a shower, went back into work like nothing ever happened. I was looking for an agency at the time, and the next night, took another pill and did it again. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, how bad could it really be? And you never know, because it never got me to the point where I almost died, thank God.
How long do you think you were sleeping on that subway?
I know the night probably ended early for me, like around 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up around 10 o'clock.
Can you tell us, at the height of the intoxicants and of the temptation, when it was fun, what does that night look like? What does that time period look like where you're partaking in everything and your character can't keep up?
It's a whirlwind. It's something that happens so fast you can't necessarily pinpoint what was a great time and what wasn't. The line is blurred. Times that could be dark times don't seem that dark because you're out of it. There were times where I found fun in aggression, picking fights with people. You know, somebody saying to me, people say a lot of things all the time, and I think I kind of take on a quiet role. If you're at a bar and somebody says, a couple of guys in the corner joking around, like, hey, Williams, you're going to screw up your career. Why don't you go hit another pole? And, now I wouldn't say anything, but back then, when I was on Oxycontin, I would walk over to people and be like, okay, what you say? What you say? Like, ready to fight. And then they wouldn't say anything. So in finding passion and fun in that, right, challenging people to that degree. So a very warped sense of reality that took you to dark places that you had a hard time justifying what was dark and what was happening.
So how often does that sort of thing happen? Because it's hard for me to imagine somebody just seeing someone and being like, hey, way to go mess up your life.
It happens a lot. It happens all the time. And look, prime example, I don't know what exactly happened with the Shady McCoy answer, but I'll tell you one thing as a professional athlete, when you step your foot on or off the court or on or off the field, it's difficult to turn that switch of aggression off, right? And we praise people for that aggression. So my thing is, all of a sudden you're in the real world and you make a mistake, you're local for it, okay? A fan is taunting him. It's easy to say, walk away from it. But if you're on alcohol or if you're on prescribed medication, you're not in the right frame of mind, it's easy to go revert back to who you were on the court, right? Like, I want to dump on you. I want to dominate you. I want you to understand I'm superior to you. And it's easy for that to translate off the court. It was at the given time.
Why the need to be this honest now? Do you find therapy in it?
I do. And also, I think one of the things, too, is that I found that everybody has had some kind of accident in their lives. And granted, it may not be a motorcycle accident, but, my friend, his wife divorced him, and she ended up, getting remarried back to somebody who was a hedge fund manager at the same business she worked at. I watched him experience this accident for 2.5 years, and how he started drinking a lot. A lot of times for my life, for the past, 13 plus years, it's been this climb. I've been climbing up this mountain because I felt jaded, right? I threw away the one opportunity I had to achieve something I've been waiting 21 years to achieve. And then it's like, if I can't do that, what the hell am I doing with my life? How can I get back to that status economically, financially, that makes me feel validated as a man? And I was climbing so damn long that I didn't pay attention to how far I climbed or what the process was even like. So once I finally slowed myself down, I also realized, wow, okay, I've gone through a lot of these last 10 plus years. I've hurt a lot of people. Maybe I haven't been the guy I wanted to be. So just to kind of go back and just rethink about all the things I had done, I achieved, people I hurt, just to kind of talk and be honest with my story. I'm tired of reading all these stories of people just aren't honest about things. And look, I have nothing to hide. I made mistakes. We all make mistakes. I had to live with it, and I had to learn how to live with it.
There's a lot to stop and see this President's Day at Nissan. Reinvented capability, enhanced safety, and reimagined design. 5 exciting new models. This is Nissan Now.
Choose the 2015 Nissan Altima and get up to $1,500 bonus cash on top of existing offers. Get your new Nissan now. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
What's he doing? He's moving to Metro PCS because they want this $30 period.
Oh, that's a good move.
He also gets unlimited data talk and text on T-Mobile's blazing fast nationwide 4G LTE network.
Whoa! Make your move to Metro PCS for $30 period. Plus now, for a limited time, get 2 free 4G LTE smartphones. Only at Metro PCS.
I can't dance. You can still move.
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! Damn,
Welcome to Sports Center winners. Who's got it? Your boy. Summer's good. More is better.
Sports Center at night, only on ESPN.
Millions of people have switched to Sprint this past year. And to celebrate, we're extending our 50% offer so you can save on most Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. Now save $200 instantly when you get the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 or GS6 and trade in your smartphone. So switch today.
Introducing the 2016 Domino's DXP with a built-in warming oven.
Did you guys order pizza?
I did.
Find out more about this first-of-its-kind vehicle at Domino'sDXP.com.
Colby's lozenges are clinically proven to shorten your cold. As CEO, I stand behind Colby's products. In fact, I guarantee Colby's will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
This is Henry's Hard Orange. It's a delicious, refreshing, and easy-to-drink hard soda. But not too hard. You've got stuff to do tomorrow. Henry's Hard Soda. Live hard. Ish.
Own the detour. Own the view. Own the scenic route. The Own the Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
People always ask me if these are an aphrodisiac. I don't know if they make me frisky. I am sure they are best right now in peak season, when flavor is big and price is small. So get to Joe's Crab Shack. It's oyster season. Mighty good here.
Make plans for NBA Saturday Prime Time. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
To many, this dot is just the end of a sentence. Over, done, finito. But at GoDaddy, this dot, your domain name, is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website. Open an online store. Build your brand. You can even connect the domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. And GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a free domain with website from GoDaddy, starting at $1 a month.
For crying out loud. Hey, neighbor.
Lousy weather.
This is not a good time.
It's going to be raining, and my satellite dish to lose its signal? There's that. Might have to watch your cable.
Look, my kid's having a sleepover.
I'll just watch it on your bedroom set. Cox Advanced TV. Best TV in the neighborhood. Rain or shine.
Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clearlander Hotel, beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play begin and pick up a little souvenir from the front boat. Do your question.
Just give me some topics and events. Fast.
Do you question whether this was scripted?
All right, we're going out to like AA or AAA wrestling. I'm not sure what level it is. It's your man Joey Ryan. You remember him, the dude with the super powerful imaginary?
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy. Yes.
What do you do now?
What do you do?
It's not awesome, by the way.
Oh, that part may have been scripted. Okay, be very gentle with her. No, but see, he can't be pinned because the referee has been hard, you see, so. Those trunks, by the way. Matches the boots.
He spent more on his outfit than he's making to his wrestling, right?
Yeah. Here he comes.
Microphone?
Yeah, microphone. Oh, hairy chest, hair sweater on his chest. Yes.
We've been talking about it so much that I feel like this was the only way to surprise you. Or Claire James, I love you with all my heart.
Oh, look at my father. unimpressed. Oh, he surprised her. Oh, that's the surprise move. Yes.
No. I don't care if it's scripted or not. Y'all got to get married now. Like, my general experience in this world is don't break out no rain bar just for no prop in the wrestling match. Like, y'all got to get married now. You do know this.
It takes a real man to get down on one knee and propose.
I mean, you haven't done it. You pointed a fork at Mom. You still haven't proposed to Mom. You still have not. No,
you keep coming back to the same argument, you know, because you don't want to get married. That's why.
No,
that's right.
Flashing out at me very angrily.
Just so you know, I did propose this one time, but I got the ring back though.
Time to play the game that is launching the Papi Bowl next year. See?
Oh no, tell us what's on television tonight. He'll always be intrigued.
On Fox Sports Ohio, Pistons and Cavs.
Sure, interested in this. Andre Drummond, incidentally, one of the guys that Anthony Davis went for 59 against yesterday. He struggled the other day trying to dunk. He was very large, very big, very athletic, and that is not successful. That's starting from way too far away. That doesn't work when you start from that far away. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Yeah, I guess I'll say I'm intrigued. And I know this is going to make me sound like an old man. But all these different colored jerseys make it oh so confusing for me to figure out exactly what the hell is going on in any level of game here. Like, it was really easy when I was a kid to know who the home team was when I turned on the game. Now I got to do some deducing.
You are absolutely right. You sounded like an old man. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because Andre the Giant has been looking forward to that matchup against LeBron and the Cavs. You know, even though he has been having a rough time as of late, you know, I mean, tonight he's going to show everybody that he's still what it takes, you know. He missed that dunk, but tonight he's going to go for 3 or 4 dunks. And then don't forget about Mr. October, too, you know. Mr. October is going to have a big game today.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, Mr. October, right? Reggie Jackson, no? Yeah.
Now who sounds like an old man? The old man. The actual real life old man.
The actual old man.
On Fox Sports North, Celtics and Timberwolves.
The Celtics are good. They won at Denver yesterday by 20. How are the Celtics good? We should probably be analyzing that on this sports show. Not what we're going to do here, though. Carl Anthony Towns was taking a free throw the other day. That's what we're going to talk about. Makes it, and where's the congratulations? There is one. Okay. He's got to go and search out his thank you and congratulations. Nobody's so interested. They've got a chemistry problem in Minnesota, clearly. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I just gotta give y'all what Shabazz did. Shabazz Muhammad, if you look at it at the end, he's explaining why it was that he was not able to give him dap. And he seemed to be bothered that he had been interrupted to come give his man some dap on the free throw. He should have done like Andrew Bogut did that one time and dapped up himself.
That's right. Let's put that video up there. Andrew Bogut looking around and just doing it by himself. Poppy, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued because every time the Timberwolves they take that, they're on TV. I'm watching because they got my favorite point guard, Ricky Rubio. That's the guy that I root for, and he's having a hell of a season.
You haven't seen either one of those guys, have you?
No. All of them. Yes, that's right. That's true. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
See you at the same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Okay, good show.
Never gets old. Excellent work.
Happy Hour is presented by Ciroc Apple. Celebrate life responsibly.
Woodrow Wilson Page Jr., Bomani, Babatunde, Jones, Frank, Abagnale, Isola, Michael Anthony Smith. Today, whether the Browns' greatness is furrowed by how 1/100th of a second did not lead to a big finish for Daytona, and if there's such a thing as bad timing on a floor slap.
Yeah, bad timing was 2016. That's a bad time. Did you say 1994?
I think Babatunde wins the middle name sweepstakes right there. It's a good scrabble.
It's Around the Horn, presented by Ciroc Apple, part of Happy Hour.
I got Anthony going for me.
The list of 50-20s in the NBA in the last 40 years. Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, and now Anthony Davis. Here's a point for middle name, Michael Smith. Anthony Davis. Zing Davis, Woody, at 22, put up 59-20 on an All-Star center for a team that's 11 games under 500. What does that tell you?
He's a pretty good player, Tony. I can start with that.
You're not getting points for that.
He's got an incredible future. I mean, this is going to be one of the dynamic players, I think, in the history of the game before he's finished. But he needs a wingman. He's got guards in the backcourt that want to each control the ball. So Gordon, when you have Gordon and Holiday, that's not going to work out. The forwards aren't even good. What they've got to do, they've got their 2016 #1 draft pick after losing 3 in the past to get Holiday. I think they got to keep that draft pick, hope that they're in the lottery, that they got to add somebody from free agency. They're going to have a lot of salary cap space, but you want to surround this guy with complimentary players. And they don't have any no good players.
Let me be a little bit more specific with this question for Bomani Jones. Is Anthony Davis hamstrung, being held back by the New Orleans Pelicans?
Well, I think the biggest thing that's held him back with this team so far is they've been so injured this season. They're making the transition to a new coach, but they've lost so many games to guys just for injury, although some of them guys like Aaron Gordon, where Aaron Gordon's going to miss games because of injury. Like he's Marcus Camby of this generation in that way. You know you're going to lose 20 games from a guy like that. But we're not yet at the point where I can say that they're really hamstringing Anthony Davis. They made the playoffs last year. They haven't made the step we thought they'd make this year. In some ways, he hasn't made some steps that we thought that he would make this year. And he needs to make those steps to get that Derrick Rose extension, because he wasn't an all-star starter, so he needs to be an all-NBA guy to get that money.
Frank, I said.
You know, it's amazing. You think about it. Drew Holiday seems to always be hurt. Same thing with Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon, Tariq Evans. But here's the thing. Anthony Davis is hurt a lot. He's yet to play in 70 games in his NBA career. Now, it is remarkable what he did last night. To be only 22 and you put yourself in a class with Shaquille O'Neal and Wilt Chamberlain, it also tells you how great Wilt was, that he once averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds, which is off the chart. But what I liked about the story, too, he was very close to his former coach, Monty Williams. He was in Oklahoma City on Thursday for the memorial service for Ingrid Williams. And I tell you what, Anthony Davis, to be only 22, to be that talented, to be that mature, that's a great centerpiece. Woody's right. They got to start adding around him.
Of course. So if you question whether his career trajectory, which is, of course, pointed in one direction, might not get there because of his franchise tag?
Well, you know what they need to do? They're lucky that they haven't signed. The big thing will be to get that next contract. They got to do something quick because he's only been in 4 playoff games, lost all 4 of them.
Michael Smith.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got a couple of years, thankfully, for New Orleans' sake, to figure out how to put the best team around him. And his departure is not imminent. Although if they fool around and waste his prime, they'll certainly regret it. I just shake my head at it. I mean, 59 and 20 for somebody who's not even 23 years old. He hasn't even figured it out. I mean, he's been talking about picking other stars' brains at the All-Star break, figuring out how they do things. And then they go out and drop 8 mid-range shots. He just started incorporating the three-pointer. He makes 2 of those, shoots about 30% this year. He's barely scratching the surface, which is a frightening thought. So, yes, it's terrifying if you're a Pelicans fan or a member of the New Orleans organization to think, oh, my goodness, we could waste the transcendent players. We don't hurt him, put people around him. But thankfully, they have a couple of years for him to the guy's point to stay healthy and put other healthy guys around him.
Woody, back in.
Well, that's the point, Michael, when you talk about the injuries that they've had there. But what they've got to do going forward, Alvin Gentry came in with the promise of, Golden State Warriors, up tempo. They're playing at a slower tempo and pace, Tony, than they did last year. You have got to get him out in the middle of the floor, and they're not doing that.
Bomani.
You talk about the future around him. On one hand, the whole league's about to be awash with cap space to add players. On the other hand, it's one of the smaller markets in the NBA. Can they attract those players if everybody's got cap space?
Great city, though.
Oh, and your home city, Michael Smith. Yeah. Could have been one to move on. Let's talk LSU. And the 4-minute and 30-second benches. They gave Ben Simmons this weekend for academic reasons. Simmons would go on to play 35 minutes and 30 seconds, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 8 turnovers, in a 16-point loss to Tennessee. Bomani, does a benching like that have any significance to you?
Nah, not really. Chances are, if you're going to be benched for 4 minutes or just basically till a media timeout comes around, if you're going to get benched for that and they're going to call it academic reasons, it sounds like you either missed class or you missed study hall or something like that. Nothing that makes me scream, oh my goodness, why do you have to worry about Ben Simmons? This is what you have to keep up if you're running a Division I program. We have to give some semblance of importance to academics. So we're going to tell the guy that we know who's only going to be here for 1 year, hey, we got to give you some sort of punishment for whatever little thing it is that we did, because we have to maintain that facade if nothing else. But I don't blame Simmons if he's a little tired and he's a little frustrated at this point. This year hasn't gone the way I think he ever expected for it to go, and now all there is really to do is play out the string, because this is not a team that's going to make the tournament.
You have them out of the tournament now, because last week at this time they had just beaten Texas A&M, I think it was, which is a ranked team, and they were on their way.
They'll find ways to keep losing. Johnny Jones is doing a magic trick of turning Ben Simmons into the NIT.
Frank, what did you think of a benching like this for a player like this, 4 minutes and 30 seconds?
You know what? It's still a 40-minute game, so there's plenty of time for him to make an impact. And Bomani's right about a loss like this. Remember, Tennessee is only 13-14, and they were missing their leading scorer, who's the leading scorer in the SEC, Kevin Punter. When it comes to bad losses, especially at this time of the year, that's about as bad as it gets. And LSU has been way too inconsistent. And it just tells you from Ben Simmons, when you're a hotshot rookie and everybody's out there to get you, now you look at some of these other guys that come in. Look at Carl Towns last year. Same thing with Okafor. Years ago, Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan. A lot of pressure on freshman players. And here's a guy right now on the bubble just to get into the tournament.
I'm going to give a mute here, though, because it seems like everyone is so comfortable forgetting the Anthony of Carl and Anthony Towns. And I wonder about that. For a man with a middle name of Anthony, Michael, please, go ahead.
That's the thing. You're thinking something, though. I mean, we're about to give Rob a chance to watch Ben Simmons do his thing in the tournament. Whether it's 1 game or 2, they're probably not going to make it. There's yet another bad loss on LSU's resume. But as far as academics, nobody cares about Ben Simmons' academics. LSU, do what you got to do, even if you're cutting off your nose to spite your face to some extent by sitting him. And he seems out of sorts. Even after he got into the game, 8 turnovers, he seems out of sorts in general. So he's got to bounce back from this. But ultimately, bottom line is we're about to see a 19, 12, and 5 season, a historic freshman season, go down the series prior to the NCAA tournament. Barnes is kind of miraculous SEC tournament run. 40 pay.
Yeah, this is the worst defeat of the year, even though it was against by Tennessee. You got to go in there and beat them, because if you're in the situation to win 19 games in the regular season, get a good seed in the SEC, win a couple of games, 21 would get you in the tournament. I know that Frank is so excited because he wants to see Simmons in New York at the NIT in Madison Square Garden, but I think the rest of the country, CBS, the NCAA, the rest of us want to see him in the tournament. They've got to turn it back up a notch. They were playing hard for weeks, but they didn't come out and play hard. And I think part of it was they didn't have Simmons on the court to begin with. And yeah, the academics, but guess what? I mean, as Bomani indicated, that's all kind of a fraud. Let him just play out, get out of school.
Okay, so then you guys are running for a professor title at any of these universities anytime soon. Bomani, last word.
No, the one thing I'd say about Simmons being out of sorts in that game, he's a college freshman. Out of sorts is what they do for reasons that can never actually be explained. Like, that's true, right? Expect out of 18 or 19.
And that's an 18 or 19-year-old out of sorts is the norm. We'll move on. Date over. The finish here, 1/100th of a second. That's a half of a motor, right? The overnight ratings down 16% reportedly. Frank, what do you think NASCAR, how do you think NASCAR considers those 2 pieces of information as they celebrate Hamlin's incredible win over Troy Jr.?
Well, that's what they're going to focus on, and rightfully so, because, the talk going into the race, it's been 15 years since Dale Earnhardt died in that awful car accident. Here you have an accident wasn't the prominent feature of the race. It was an actual photo finish where we usually only see in track and field, horse races. So for me, I thought it was incredibly exciting. That's something that maybe they could build on, as opposed to people watching, hoping to see a crash.
You already got the promotional campaign for next year. You snooze, you lose. So if you didn't watch the entire race, you missed a photo finish, like thousandth of a second difference. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? You had a great finish, you had a last lap pass, and then if you're the NASCAR executive, you all worried about the rating, you say, look, Junior had his career worst finish. I think it was 36. Chase Elliott, who made history as a pole singer at 20 years old, he crashed early. So you had a lot of built-in storylines that did not materialize. Maybe they materialize next year. Right side is you got to know where to go. What do you think?
Well, I'm a sense-enjoying guy. You know Anthony, another Anthony Mike. But I think they need to race this later in the day. I think that's a problem. It starts very early for people that live out here and on the West Coast. People are not into it yet. You're playing the World Series at the beginning of your season. I think that creates a problem for them also. But I think if they tape delayed it and explained all day long, you want to see this coming up. But this could be the tightest finish in the
Tape delay in 2016, you go with a tape delay. I know you covered the NBA a long time ago, the ABA a long time ago. That's how you cannot have a tape delay in 2016. But Money Jones.
Wow, that's the most old school thing anybody's ever said on this.
It was old school. Points for old school. There we go.
The tape delay. Wow. I mean, I think the problem that NASCAR has, though, and they've been dealing with the question of whether or not they've plateaued in terms of interest in the sport is a photo finish going to be enough to make people want to watch racing who don't watch racing already? If you're not into it, somebody telling you these two dudes came right down to the end, that isn't going to be the thing that's going to sell it. I don't know if starting later in the day is necessarily going to be the thing that does it either. It also doesn't help NASCAR that in this era where we can break these sports up into these small bites, this isn't a really highlight-conducive sport. So where are they going to build? They've got to build on demographics. They want to diversify. NASCAR wants to diversify as much as anybody else does. However, it isn't working, and until it works, you're going to see numbers keep falling.
There's a horn right there. Michael Anthony providing the base here in this program. We'll start 10 points. He's in the lead. We're taking a break right here. Buy or sell is next. What do you think? Imagine if our show was tape delayed. Imagine that one. How would people process that?
Around the Horn is presented by new Ciroc Apple. Irresistibly crisp. Celebrate life responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
To introduce the new Infiniti QX50, we could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second row legroom, and coupe-like handling, the new QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the new Infiniti QX50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Hoods up, America. Today is the day. It's time for everyone to pop your hoods. Get some grease on your knuckles. This old boy could have another 100,000 miles on him, buddy. And a little free time and new spark plugs will have this rocket ready for launch. Now, so get out there and grease that, tighten this, change those. With our help, you can always fix your car with confidence. Hoods up, America.
Here in the city, parking is hard to find. Seems like everyone drives. And those who do should switch to Geico, because you can save hundreds on car insurance. Oh, perfect. Valet parking. Hello.
Evening, sir.
Here's the keys. And go easy on the right, mate. Pretty even to let Pete Whittington.
To see how much you could save on car insurance, go to geico.com.
We have over 15,000 activities that you can book on our app to make sure your little animal enjoys her first trip to the kingdom. Expedia, technology connecting you to what matters.
DiCaprio, Cranston, Redmayne, Fassbender, Damon. Who will be Best Actor? The battle for gold is on.
And the Oscar goes to...
All right. One high-stakes showdown after another. The most unpredictable race.
This is nuts.
The most unpredictable show. Chris Rock hosts the Oscars on Oscar Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC.
Busy with the job. Make it roll at 999. I do a cop just like he's my partner. You got a better idea? What you fixing to do?
Something very big is about to go down.
Triple line, rated R.
Take a look at the shots on goal through 2 periods. 19 for the Capitals. Hockey 13 for Chicago. The Hawks broke the tie sequentially along.
We're excited about February. All our handcrafted classic footlongs are just $6 each, like our flavorful sweet onion chicken teriyaki and steak and cheese. $6 for a footlong is big news. especially for the media.
Folks, welcome to Sub Pot Clubs 2016, where foot traffic for delicious subs is putting tremendous pressure on sidewalks here. So much so that cracks are actually appearing in the sidewalk. Cracks! Seismologists aren't sure how much more of this can take. Back to you, Bob.
Enjoy all our delicious classic footlongs for just $6 each. All February at Subway.
I need you to prevent the assassination of Top Gun F.
Welcome to Sports Center. Winners, who's got it? Your boy. Sounds good. More is better.
Sports Center tonight, only on ESPN.
Welcome back to Around the Horn, presented by Ciroc Apple, part of Happy Hour.
Buy or sell.
The SEC's explanation for that tips A&M and Kentucky this weekend. Unsportsmanlike acts in violation of Rule 10, Section 3. Rule 10, Section 3 is disrespecting or resenting an official, and also vulgarity, taunting, baiting, ridiculing opposing players. What you saw was the players spike a ball with, so buy or sell the technical there.
Well, initially I would. I think that you don't let a technical foul determine the end of the game, but two things happened there. The official was holding off, and then the player was turning around. He already recognized he had done something wrong, and he was going to get a technical court, so he deserved it.
You think he deserved it? How about you, Beaumont?
Well, I do think it's interesting in hearing the explicit letter of the law that they had there. That sure looked like a technical foul, but it didn't sound like a technical foul necessarily. There was no opponent around for debate, so I don't know. But you saw the ref did not want to. He seemed to feel like he had no other choice but to call it that.
College basketball, just like the NBA, they pick on the poor Australian guy. Here's the thing. First of all, he was running his mouth, and the way that he spiked the ball, it did go in the general direction of the Texas A&M player. So from that standpoint, it looked a little bit like taunting. I got to be honest.
You said he was running his mouth. Who was he running his mouth to? You think it was to his teammates or was it to?
I think it's the entire act. It's, you know, the emotion that he was showing. He was taunting and throwing the basketball.
There's the word, emotion. I'm selling it. I didn't like it. I think common sense has to come into play here, or if nothing else, just patience. But man, he talked about that symmetry earlier, the young kids getting out of sync. It was emotional moments. Kid came and got 12 rebounds. He slammed the ball. It wasn't like, just sort it out. I didn't think he deserved a technical foul. We weren't there, but I don't think it deserved.
That's the gist of what Jay Bellis said during the telecast, you know. The referees are going to get fired over not making that call. I think is how.
I don't care if Jay said it, as long as he didn't.
Think like a Duke guy, Michael.
Slide still two. Washington Nationals bringing back on a good foul. He was last seen publicly doing this, as you know. He was recently seen in the clubhouse wearing an Obama can't bang these guns t-shirt until he was convinced by teammates that it wasn't a great idea in front of the media for the apology tour, so he took that off. That's per Tom Exposito. Dusty Baker wants this year's Nationals to find their fun and swagger again. Bomani, you think this is going to work out here, or bite him in the butt?
Well, I mean, having Papelbon might help you find your swagger. I don't know about the fun, though. It doesn't look like there's that much fun to be had being around him. But if anybody can figure out the clubhouse chemistry, I think it's the guy that figured out how to make Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent work about 15 years ago, and that's Dusty Baker.
So you're buying it because you're buying Dusty.
If he says so.
I stole it. How about you?
And we know that Bryce Harper's a volatile guy. You got to keep the two of these guys away from each other. I'll say this about Papelbon. Is he probably a bit of a clown? Absolutely. But he has gotten the final out of a World Series game. Plenty of playoff games. That is important from September and October.
You know, when you ask, is he a clown? Some might question where that's a clown question from. Mike Smith, go ahead.
Whether it works out or not is entirely dependent on the one dude around whose throat Papelbon put his hand. So if Bryce Harper can tolerate him, if he can see the producer, it's not a big deal for him, the self-proclaimed non-leader of the clubhouse, then so be it. Not to mention, Bryce Harper is looking to free agency, getting $500 million project from the Yankees. And last thing, Papelbon's putting together the clubhouse playlist. I mean, if that's what he's going to put in the charge, yeah, he must be all good too.
I'm glad you brought up the first part of that. That's today. Bryce Harper said, I don't think of myself as a leader. And Dusty Baker kind of agreed with him, saying, yeah, he's got potential to be a leader, but he's not a leader just yet. So put that all together, all those ingredients, Woody Page, buy or sell what the Nats are doing, bringing back Papelbon here.
I don't think Harper's enough of a leader either. He's got to worry about himself. But let me help you out here, Frank. You're talking about old news with top of bottom. Oh, closing the World Series. He's 35 years old. When Philadelphia gave up on him last year, he appeared in 22 games, had only 7 saves. He got his thrown around as a star player. He's still got a grievance against the Nationals for suspending him for 4 games. You really want this guy on your team? It's going to bite him in the butt big time.
Woody had that World Series on tape delay, so he actually hasn't seen it yet. He was just referring to what you said. We'll move on. Buy or sell 3, the photo of Pablo Sandoval going around today. And the yearly columns about his weight. And finally, people calling people out for that. Frank, buy or sell concern over Sandoval's appearance?
Come on now. There are guys who are incredibly fit who can't play. What about Chesterfield or Princefield or Bartolo Colon? As long as he can hit the field, I'm not that concerned about his weight. It's baseball.
Yeah, that fielding part, I believe 15 errors last year, so definitely needs to be pretty mobile and fit to do that we do there. I guess I'll sell it only because the Red Sox are spinning it as, hey, we just want him to be fit. We want to have more endurance. You know, we're not necessarily worried about his numbers, but they're not putting a number on him, so I guess I'll buy. Would you?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's gut check time. Sandoval. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, hit 240 last year, only 10 home runs. If he can't hit, you know, it's that field, he's no help for them. I mean, he should lose about 25, 30 pounds, like most of them.
Bomani Jones.
Hey man, you don't sign Pablo Sandoval and get mad at him for being fat. Like you knew what the dude was when he showed up there. You get mad at him when his on-base percentage is around 290. That's what's been the problem. If he comes and he does anything, then it won't matter. But this will not help his defense where he has some of the worst range at third base in Major League Baseball.
That's what I said. He said it better.
Thanks for pointing that out, Frank. Yes, and that's why there's a lightning bolt hovering over your head right now, along with Woody Page. It's Bomani. It's Michael Smith. Showdown next. 2 enter, 1 starts the week with a win.
Why am I a fan of Applebee's Cafe Quesadilla Burger?
It's a burger inside a quesadilla.
Genius. Hot, melted cheese.
Fresh. Pico de gallo.
Whoa. Mind blown.
Everyone's a fan of Applebee's 2 for $20 fan favorites.
You've tried to forget your hepatitis C, but you shouldn't forget this. Hep C is a serious disease. Left untreated, it can lead to liver damage and potentially liver cancer. But you haven't been forgotten. There's never been a better time to rethink your Hep C, because people like you may benefit from scientific
Eating fucking trip, it's bullshit.
Visit HepCHelp.com or call a Hep C educator to help prepare you for a conversation with your Hep C specialist.
Welcome to London, Mr. President.
5 more rule of confirmed dead.
Now! Race right back. That's all on March 4th.
To introduce the new Infiniti QX50, we could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended secondary legroom, and coupe-like handling, the new QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the new Infiniti QX50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Before earning enough cash back, to help pay for her kids' iced tea. Before earning 1% cash back, everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas, all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank America Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality. Land, water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Why am I a fan of what these fans gave us Bourbon Street Convention? It's so smoky and mysterious.
Fucking gay.
Pungent spice.
She's talking about me.
Everyone's a fan with Applebee's 2 for $20 fan favorites. Make plans for NBA Saturday primetime. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
The world a president has to grapple with. Sometimes you can't even imagine. That's the job. And she's the one who's proven she can get it done. Securing a massive reduction in nuclear weapons, standing up against the abuse of women, protecting Social Security, expanding benefits for the National Guard, and winning health care for 8 million children. The presidency is the toughest job in the world, and she's the one who will make a real difference for you.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
The more confident you are starting a meeting, the more confident you'll be in it. Let's put it to the test. Connect with your team in 10 seconds, or your chute will deploy. Ready, set, go. Not go to meeting. Feeling confident?
Yeah, just a second.
How about you?
Abby, see the chart on slide 5. Great, let's start there.
Not go to meeting. You connected?
How do I lock it?
Good job, go to meeting. Go to meeting, the most trusted web conferencing tool, hosting over 50 million meetings a year.
Around the Horn is presented by new Ciroc Apple. Irresistibly crisp. Celebrate life responsibly. Heart of Apple.
Sean Tate says any publicity is good publicity. Is getting talked about for getting burned by your man because you were in the throngs of full floor slap. Good publicity, Bomani Jones.
Who you think you fooling right now, little homie? Like, who you really think you fooling? You got floor slapped and blown by a dude who plays for Nebraska. That is not the kind of good publicity you want. That's like saying that Brandon Knight got good publicity when he got dunked off by DeAndre Jordan. You get the lame floor slap and you got shamed in the process of it. This is not how you want to introduce yourself to me. I am judging you forever.
Yeah, man, look, I get trying to turn a frown upside down and everything, but you got to keep your head up. I mean, you're the man down. A hand down, man down, head down, man down. Come on, man. You can't look down when you're doing it. Go look at some old Duke films. Lead at that Duke. Come on, man. Watch yourself. Do better.
Boy, Bomani Jones, this is good publicity for you, though, Michael Smith. We'll move on. Showdown 2. Lady in row 1 with some good advice for LeBron James, Michael.
No, it's not good advice because he didn't hear her. Because had he heard it, he'd have looked over and checked her just like he did old girl that was calling him a crybaby and straightened up real quick when he looked over. Y'all saw that a couple of weeks ago. He laughed about it, but what you should have been doing is yelling at your squad for getting the brakes beat off about 23 points. Yell at Durant and Westbrook.
Yeah, the last thing you need to do is tell LeBron to focus. Like, your team was in the process of getting run off the court by the Cavaliers. You don't want LeBron to suck it up. You should have been encouraging him to get himself a technical foul. Then your boys might have had a chance. By the way, why aren't they better against the Cavs? Second time this year they got blown out by a short-handed Cleveland Cavaliers team. You got to step the game up down there, Thunder.
This is the game of competitive agreement today between Jones and Smith. Bomani, should you win? 3 words or fewer. What are you doing in space time?
Public service and Niall Smith.
Michael Smith?
Great daily.
Okay.
Wait, this is going through. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot, my man, bro. I think I know where you're going. Hey, Frank, Isola, you still there?
Nobody's there. I think we just got pulled off the air, Michael.
Tell your coaches to keep their social media business out the streets. Kurt Rambis, you can't like things without people knowing it. To not say for word tweets, try not to like them, and please don't come up with the good old, oh, I got hacked, or I was spammed excuse. You're rooting for the people that actually do get hacked. If you like what you like, go ahead and do it, but just own it next time. Or just watch what you're doing. Frank, help your boy out.
Wow, that sounds a lot like my public service announcement.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if we're actually on TV anymore, so it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm going to do? Michael Smith, that's a win in 3 quarters, though. You're now, yes, you're finally on 0.25. That's a win in 3 quarters.
I thought that would be good publicity.
Happy Hour is presented by Ciroc Apple. Celebrate life responsibly.
Pardon the interruption, I'm Mike Wilbon. A 106-year-old woman danced with the president and first lady Tony, you're going to be able to dance at 106?
Tony Kornheiser, I have no idea. That's like 10 years from now.
Wow, just 10 years.
Yeah.
You can do the penguin dance in the White House.
I can do the, did you see my new penguin, by the way, on the set? I have a brand new penguin on
Why
the
are we
set.
still sending these things?
Did you see how tiny the woman was at 106?
Well,
I mean, I'm glad she's alive. That's what's going to happen to all of us if we live that long.
You just want strokes, and you want to shoot your age, and it's not going to work because you're fraud.
Both those things I want. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Anthony Davis drops 59. The Cavaliers roll over the Thunder, and should Roger Goodell return the Patriots' draft picks? But we begin today with a report by veteran golf writer Robert Lucetich. The Tiger Woods' condition has worsened recently from back surgeries that did not go well. Lucetich says the Tiger is in so much pain that when he rides in a car, he sits in the passenger seat fully reclined. Lucetich said there is, quote, no foreseeable return, unquote, to the tour. And Tiger's agents call this report, quote, absolutely false, unquote. Wilbon, does this sound like the end of Tiger to you?
His reporting sounds like a rap, and I find it very depressing. As somebody who has enjoyed watching Tiger Woods as much as almost any athlete in my lifetime. Yes, it's disappointing. Tony, we're talking about, we heard from Tiger's own mouth that his rehab a couple months ago consisted of only walking.
That's it.
And he said there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
That's what he said.
Okay, so if Tiger gave you that, and if there's been regression, and regression is you can only go one or two ways, forward or backward. And if you've gone backward and you've regressed, this sounds like something that we should stop talking about golf and start wondering whether Tiger can just sort of function in the normal adult way a 40-man-year-old would like to.
In a very odd way, I think this potentially puts him closer to coming back than what he said in December. I'm going to tell you what. Tiger said in December, I believe he said something like, I'm just tired of surgeries. I don't want any more surgeries. So at that point, you're saying, I'll live with what I am now. I'll live with this body. If I never play golf, I never play golf. But if his body is like this now, if he can't walk, he can't sit, he can't drive, that necessitates an operation on his back. If that surgery, but if that surgery is successful and he begins to feel well, I think he plays again. He's 40 years old, so there's not that much time to be a great golfer again. I don't see him as a senior tour guy, do you? No. But I think that if he felt well, he would say to himself, let's give it another shot. Let's try.
Well, he can say, I'd like to put my kids in a car and drive.
Well, you did that for a while.
This is a wild surge of optimism from you.
Well, you put your kids in the car and you drive for a while, then you drop your kids off at school and you say, let's go to the range. You did 5 iron.
Aren't you wincing at this?
No.
Why not?
No, because
we have friends who have been taken out of golf completely because of their bad backs.
They're not
bad backs eliminate careers.
Bad backs and an operation, you can play football and baseball and basketball. Bad backs. He could if the operation were right.
Hope you're right. I'm not used to starting on Monday with this kind of optimism from you. I'm not even sure who you are right now.
Had a good weekend.
Anthony Davis's 59 points and 20 rebounds in Detroit yesterday raises a ton of questions about Davis and his Pelicans. After a terribly disappointing 4-15 start to the season, Davis and his team have surged to go 18-18 since, but still need a miracle to make the playoffs again. Keep in mind, Davis still just 22 years old, and he joined Wilt and Shaq as the only guys to put up those numbers in a game. So we need to adjust our expectations for Davis, though, going forward.
What do you mean? Adjust them higher or adjust them lower?
I don't know. Either way.
What do you mean?
Either way. I thought they were kind of wild out there. People had him being the best player in the game. Yeah. Statistically, he does this and this and this and this, and he projects this and this and this and this. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, okay. Well, they had a new coach this year, Alvin Gentry. They did not perform for Alvin Gentry, and Alvin Gentry did not reach them early when they were 1-11.
That's right.
But they're very close to 500 since 1-11. They're only 100. So that's gotten better. I mean, he was the overall #1 pick. I would tell you that of all those Kentucky guys, I would take him over all the Kentucky guys. There's 2 people in the NBA playing an outpost at the moment who are good. Boogie Cousins is in Sacramento, nobody cares. And Anthony Davis in New Orleans.
Carl Anthony Towns.
He's not in an outpost. I would take. He had 59 and 20.
I'll take.
Tell me when Carl Anthony Towns goes 59 and 20.
He's a rookie. This is. I mean, Davis been around.
It's a 22-year-old kid going to be 23 next month. I would trade almost anybody in the league. Absolutely, I would exempt LeBron and Curry and Westbrook and Durant and anybody else. I would trade for. I think Anthony Davis is very, very good, will be great.
Tony, I think one of the things he has to do is stay healthy. And we've seen
well,
this.
Everybody has to stay healthy.
Okay, but you have to do it.
and he misses games. Now, what's been great is
it's not Bradley Beal. This is 30 games.
And he seems to overcome things fairly quickly and get back in there. I get that. I don't know why they started off 4-15. Maybe expectations got them because we both believe in Gentry. They had expectations early. It didn't work early, and now they're going to have to sort of do some things in the offseason and put together a team that can get to the playoffs.
Who's better than this guy in your mind? Who's that age? Who's better? He's going to be 23 next month. He's great. Yeah, last year you made a case on the show 1,000 times. I'm voting for him for MVP in the top three.
Top three.
So what are you doing?
Top three this year.
What are you doing?
Not top three.
Why are you lowering this?
I'm not lowering.
He's averaging 24 and 10.
He's great. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Stop it.
Playoffs.
Stop. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday in Oklahoma City by 23 points. That's a lot of points. And Cleveland did most of it without Kyrie Irving, who had the flu. LeBron James, 25 points, 11 assists. Kevin Love, 29 points, 11 rebounds. Wilbon, did this drubbing of Oklahoma City say more about Cleveland or the Thunder?
Cleveland. I told you when I was there that when this change was made, though it might seem unfair to David Blatt, who's done nothing but lead his conference and get to the finals, I told you they'd be better under Tyronn Lue.
I think they're statistically about the same.
Okay, but it's a 10-3 mark. They had an unexpected loss in there somewhere. But Tony, they're playing better.
Okay.
They're figuring out what to do, and I know this was the number one thing on your agenda with them, to do with Kevin Love. And it had to be the number one thing on their agenda, but that's what Lou said. We got to get this fixed. I think they're a decent way toward having it fixed.
I understand how this season has commenced. I understand that Golden State has sucked the air out of the room, and there's no room for anybody else. And people make a case for San Antonio because they're having a great year. I don't understand the disdain for Cleveland. I cannot fathom this.
I don't either.
They can win the title. They got to the finals last year and won 2 games without their second best player and their third best player.
I'm with you on this.
So I don't get this. Oklahoma City, they're okay. They got 2 great players. They're not as good as San Antonio, and they're not going to get to the finals. They're not as good as Golden State. Cleveland is going to get to the finals, and San Antonio and Golden State, the winner is going to be tired. It's going to be tired.
They could win the championship, Tony, because LeBron has a chance. He's in position to win the championship every year since like 2007.
And under the radar for the first time in 10 years.
And that's got to be a pretty good position. Yes. They can work on some things and become a better team. We don't disagree on this. All I said to you was, and I understood the criticism from the coaching fraternity about firing David Blatt. I get it. He's one of their own. We would do this for one of our fraternity members in our profession.
Actually like them, a few of them.
But in this case, what Lou identified, what Lou identified was the way that they're going to need to play to get to those finals. Right. And we don't see Toronto as a real threat to them. We think
and pretty much from now on, I mean, I think Cleveland from now on is mostly in the East.
Yeah.
So again, the disdain for them is going to continue.
I don't understand any disdain for them. I don't get that part. People like to love somebody up and hate someone else at the same time. You don't need to do that.
Don't get it.
God help me, but the Combine is this week in Indianapolis. And wherever football people assemble, conversation is bound to drift to the Patriots. To that end, our dear friend Peter King writes that it's time for Roger Goodell to admit he erred by docking the Patriots 2 draft picks for Deflategate and return said picks. King writes, quote, shady science and total disinterest in learning the truth, close quote, are the grounds for Goodell to bail on the Patriots penalty. Tony, are you expecting the commission to do any such thing?
I think he should. I don't think he will. I mean, I'm not the son of a senator. Roger Goodell is. I assume he knows how to count all the votes. I assume he knows what owners are with him and what owners are against him.
Political figure you're suggesting.
Exactly.
Political action.
Exactly.
Forgive. Get back in Robert Kraft's good graces.
Well, I don't know if he needs him. I don't know how powerful Robert Kraft is anymore, so I don't know if Goodell thinks that he needs the guy. I will tell you this, I think it is faulty science. I don't think it was ever proven that the balls were manually deflated in the way that it was accused. And I don't think this is about Deflategate, and neither do you. It's about Spygate. It's a make-up league with Roger Goodell. You get it wrong on Ray Rice, you try to make it up on the next guy. You get it wrong on Spygate, you try to crush Tom Brady. This is the pattern that we've seen for years now. They should, you take away a one, from a team.
The Patriots don't need to pick. They can care less about the pick.
One?
They've been to 3 Super Bowls since being penalized another pick, and they've won 1 and technically lost 2.
1 is a very big deal. And by the way, if I'm an owner in the league, And like I'm happy because I'm angry at the Patriots for everything I think they've done. Right. But what if that's turned on me? What if bad science results in me
bad things to happen to somebody else, but not
if it happens to them?
So there's an appeal out there. Roger Goodell's not taking jack back.
No, I don't think
Even
so.
though the appeal doesn't specifically hone in on this, he's not taking anything back.
He wants the right to punish Brady and everybody else.
Of course he does. And so if you say to them, I'm going to give you the picks back, you may as well be telling the appeals court, I was wrong about everything.
He is wrong about everything.
Okay, but he's not
taking their money. Take their money, but give them back the picks. The Daytona 500 ended with the closest finish in that race's history. Denny Hamlin came from 4th place on the final lap to edge past Martin Truex Jr. by 1/100th of a second. Even Hamlin doesn't know how he did it. Quote, I don't know where it came from. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did. Unquote. He really ought to. Wilbon, what's the bigger deal? Hamlin winning so dramatically, or our old friend Joe Gibbs winning his first Daytona in 23 years?
Look, the player, or in this case the driver, they get the first credit, all the love initially. Hamlin, the move he made was like a crossover move at 198 miles an hour, whatever they were doing on the track. No, in traffic like that, no, that was a glorious end to that race. I know both of us tuned in late. We got lucky. Because nothing that mattered early. No. It didn't matter. I mean, I wanted Junior to win. I was sorry Junior went out early. And then you had to fixate on this and Hamlin. But we covered Joe Gibbs' entire career in Washington. And were front row seated to all of it. And the fact that Joe Gibbs can now be up for another Hall of Fame after being elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tony. I know this is only his second Daytona. He 23 years ago. I don't care.
That's one more than a lot of people.
That's right. Joe Gibbs he's a godlike figure in 2 sports.
You know, I watched the last 30 minutes of the race, and I watch it every year, and I think it's important that I watch it. I know a lot of people pay attention. And I remember the Fox guys yesterday were screaming at the start of the last lap, there's no way Hamlin can do this, he can't do this, he'll never get up there, it'll never happen. And then they're shrieking as it happens. And I don't understand the nuance of NASCAR racing. I mean, I can't tell what is going on exactly. I know it was very exciting. It didn't necessarily have my heart, but it seemed to me that the guy made this great move, and that 3 people in front of him
should have
lined up and not let him through.
But to think of the thought process and how quickly you have to come to these major decisions. And each one of these guys talked about it. And you know what I like about NASCAR now? Watching Ricky Craven explain these things in the aftermath. He makes it all make sense. He does.
So you don't particularly like the event, but you like the explanation.
I like Craven talking about it. It's pretty good analysis, isn't it? Huh?
Let's take a break. Coming up, the Warriors lost 1 and won 1. But was the weekend a net plus?
And does Pablo Sandoval owe it to the Sox? My God, to lose that gut.
Look at that.
Huh?
Look at that.
He's the new skinny Sandoval.
I don't think so.
That's what we're told.
Pardon the interruption is presented by new Ciroc Apple. Irresistibly crisp. Celebrate life responsibly. Part of Happy Hour. And in part by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Love and happiness. Yeah. Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right. Yeah.
We are redefining and reimagining what it means to deliver. Because to us, why deliver when you can over-deliver? So we've engineered a car with a warming oven heated up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Introducing the 2016 Domino's DXP. Order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, and learn more about the DXP at Domino's.com.
This is shaping. A blade. Many blades. Sharp blades. Blades here, blades there, smooth there. Oh, that's not another blade. This is shielding with lubrication here and here. The new Gillette with Pro Shield lubrication before and after the blades. Shields from irritation for a close, comfortable shave. The new Pro Shield from Gillette. The best a man can get. And 1 Pro Shield refill gets you up to 1 month of shaves.
A wise man once said, sweat and body odor is your body's way of saying, hey, slow down. My thanks to New Dirt Destroyer, the most powerful Old Spice body wash ever made. My body will finally shut up and let me live. Is there a limit to how much living I can live with my life? And why did I spend my life savings on sunglasses for a whale?
Make plans for NBA Saturday Primetime. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
With Advil, you'll ask, what backache? What sore wrist? What headache? What bad shoulder? Advil makes pain a distant memory. Nothing works faster, stronger, or longer than Advil. It's the world's #1 choice. What? Pain. Advil.
Millions of people have switched to Sprint this past year. And to celebrate, we're extending our 50% offer so you can save on most Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile rates. Now save $200 instantly when you get the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 or GS6 and trade in your smartphone. So switch today.
5 world leaders are dead.
Take out anyone who gets close to the president.
Things are going to get sporty.
Was that really necessary?
No.
London has fallen in theaters March 4th. Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
The hottest performers, the superstar presenters.
All right.
The most unpredictable Oscars ever.
This is nuts.
And Chris Rock. The Oscars, live Oscar Sunday on ABC.
Welcome back to Pardon the Interruption, presented by Ciroc Apple, part of Happy Hour.
It's mail time, and as always, if we read yours on the air, Wilbon will give you a personal 3-day guided tour of the Bristol camp.
3 minutes.
Let's see.
3-minute tour. Get
Ready?
it right. That's all it is.
The Warriors lost in Portland but beat the Clippers. Net plus?
No, you're still just adding them up. You know, and you're comparing them every step along the way to the Chicago Bulls of 95, 96. They lost to Toronto. I mean, they had one of the same tendencies that the Warriors have, which is I think they got bored every now and then. They just lost to teams you wouldn't figure teams that great to lose to. But no, Tony, they still got this road trip, which they got to play at OKC. I know they're 0-2 to start the post-All-Star situation, but it's OKC. They still got to play what I think is a tough game in Orlando, which reminds me of Milwaukee. No net plus.
I don't understand the thinking about net plus. They lost the game. Now, I know they beat the better team.
Yes.
And so they continue to show that they beat the better teams whenever they play them. But I think that they're counting down against 73 as you think that. So you have to win virtually every game going forward. So I don't think it's a net plus. But if you extract some measure of juice out of the orange, it would be that you beat the Clippers, allegedly one of the better teams.
And that you sort of bounce back from a
That's right.
beat down in Portland, Tony, with 32-point beat down.
Damian Lillard scored about 9,000 points. They didn't stop him.
Good for that organization. They're not tanking it. They are not. They're still playing despite getting rid of everybody over the summer. I know you don't care. No, because you only care about the Patriots and deflating.
Nobody cares.
Whose decision? I care. Do you think it was to start D'Angelo Russell the rest of the season?
Well, it certainly wasn't your boy Byron Scott's decision.
It certainly was.
It was not his decision at all. Byron Scott presided over a team, benched this guy in December, but continued to put Kobe Bryant out there, though he shoots 35%. I imagine it was Mitch Kupchak's decision, because he drafted the guy with the #2 overall pick. He's watching Kobe jack up shots all the time on a team that loses
He brought him back and signed him to $24 million.
People demanded that. They want to see this kid play. The future of your team is somebody young who's not going to retire. Byron Scott's actions say, fire me. That's what they're saying.
Byron Scott's actions say, listen, you little punk. You're going to behave a certain way. You're going to be a professional to a certain degree. You're going to do the following things, or you're going to affix your butt
Yeah.
to this
The number
kind
2
and get
overall pick.
splinters, and that's the way a coach ought to conduct
Number
himself.
2 overall
And he
pick.
decided, and Mitch doesn't do that, you should know better. And Jerry Buss or Jimmy Buss isn't even paying attention.
If Jerry Buss
might
did
be
it,
paying
you would
attention.
have a headline.
That'd be a headline, wouldn't it?
Jimmy might have
Stop.
with Mitch Gus that. Joe Madden says his players showing up early was, quote, overkill. Do you think Madden is being disingenuous when he says the Cubs are working too hard?
No, this is what he believes, Tony. This is very predictable. And for a couple of weeks plus, the core of that young Cub lineup, these guys had assembled out there in Mesa, Arizona, and they were having their own practices and their own workouts, and you knew it was predictable. You know, that when Joe got there, he was going to see this and go, what are you people doing?
Because they're favorites to win it all.
They're
4-1 in Vegas. Nobody else is in single figures.
if you want.
4-1.
But Joe Madden, luckily, who's a lot smarter than you about baseball matters.
Yes,
That's
he
why we
is.
have him
Yeah,
on the show.
that's right.
Joe Madden looks at this
But I
as
can
you're
ask the
lengthening
question.
spring training. You are doing something in a long season you shouldn't be doing.
Take the full
chill
minute.
out. I'm
Keep
trying
talking.
to.
Yeah.
I want to.
Joe Madden's sitting on Secretariat. He understands that. He's got ambition. He wants to win a World Series with the Cubs, but he's trying to lower expectation because he's trying to play into your hands.
Why would he do that? Why did he do it?
He's got pitching.
Why did he do that?
He's got hitting. He's got
Giants got
ambition.
that. Mets got that.
No.
Mets swept them.
No.
The Mets don't have it.
You're 4-1
They were in the World
Vegas,
Series.
baby. Live
Nice
with it.
try.
Live with
Nice
it.
try.
You're the
Nobody's buying
favorites.
it.
You're
Nobody's
Secretariat, and Madden's
Put
right.
that same argument out there when we get to the Capitals in the playoffs in the NHL.
Capitals.
I want to hear that say. Clip
Show.
it. Reality. Clip this.
Ding.
Pablo Sandoval.
Fat.
See that gut?
Yeah.
Feel it to the Sox to lose it.
They say that they told him to lose
Look at that.
weight. He says nobody told him to lose weight, so somebody is lying here. He's 5'11". He appears to weigh about 240 to 250.
He's been great at
If
that
he
weight.
hits, it's fine. But here's what he went last year: 245 batting average, 10 homers, 47 RBI. And the Red Sox are paying him how much? $19 million a year. So it seems to me he better hit. He better hit.
When he hit as a fat guy, you see, this is not new. And the notion that he lost some weight, that was the storyline for a while. Sandoval loses. I lost more weight this weekend than Sandoval did during the entire offseason.
Did you have the flu?
No flu. But Sandoval has hit fat. He has been slumping fat.
Right.
He's got to get back to hitting. I don't think weight necessarily has anything to do with it. But we saw from that tummy tuck
He was bad in the
situation.
field too, maybe because he was so fat. And that's not even the point. You know what the point is? The Cubs are the favorites. They're 4-1 in the book in Vegas.
Just say that if you want.
Sitting on
How
Secretariat.
many championships has one
Enough
since
email.
1906?
Let's take
How
one
many?
last break. Still to come. Floor slapping has always been a mark of intense defense. Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, it looks like your boy D'Angelo Russell. And the Marlins have Don Mattingly order every player to be clean shaven like he is now. Is that going to help the Marlins win?
No. And you don't think
Maybe
about
they'll be the favorites.
No. The Cubs are the
How many
favorites.
world championships have they won?
4-1 in
Marlins.
Vegas. Nobody else in single numbers.
Marlins versus...
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon, then quickly fell back to earth, landing on the roof of a Dutch colonial. Luckily, Geico recently helped the residents with homeowners insurance. They were able to get the roof repaired like new. They later sold the cow because they had all become lactose intolerant. Call Geico and see how much you could save on homeowners insurance.
Ah, greetings, neighbor. Neighbor boy.
Yeah, so we're just bringing your son home. He really loves our wireless DirecTV receiver.
He should know better. We're settlers. We settle for cable. But let us repay you for your troubles. Fresh milk for the journey home?
We live right there.
Salted meats?
No, thank you.
That's that.
Don't be a settler. Get a $100 reward card when you switch to DirecTV.
With Advil Liquid Gels, you'll ask, what body aches? What knee pain? What sore elbow? What joint pain? Advil Liquid Gels are so fast they make pain a distant memory. Nothing works faster, stronger, or longer than Advil Liquid Gels. The world's #1 choice. What pain? Advil.
Why am I a fan of Applebee's fan favorites Bourbon Street Chicken and Shrimp? It's so smoky and mysterious. Then that Cajun spice. I almost forgot I could feel this way.
She used to talk about me like that.
Everyone's a fan with Applebee's 2 for $20 fan favorites.
You got a truck for a reason, remember? The
Firestone Destination LE Tour, built with patented treads for 60,000 miles of truck stuff. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
I and my life to look over again. Oh, how I love you.
Egypt must never be destroyed by chaos.
Worship me or be enslaved!
You must protect the mortals.
Impressed?
Lovely creature, come on, kid.
You will bring them reckoning! Are you ready? I am. Gods of Egypt, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
I'm Matt Barry. SportsCenter takes over the game after PTI. Brand new role for LeBron. Stephen A. Smith talks King James, plus one-on-one with the fighter who took down Ronda Rousey. And on the 36th anniversary, we relive the Miracle on Ice. That and more next.
Toyota is a Reader's Digest most trusted brand. Take RAV4 with a 5-star overall safety rating, available all-wheel drive, and plenty of room for your life's adventures. Now lease a RAV4 for just $219 a month. Or buy one with 0.9% financing for 5 years. 90% of RAV4s sold in the last 10 years are still on the road. That's Toyota dependability. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places.
I sell flowers,
I sell flowers.
but our businesses work differently.
We both rely on customer support that's there when we need it.
But I need a lot more speed because most of my business is done online.
The other internet providers treated us the same, just because we sell the same thing.
But Cox Business gave us something different, personalized solutions.
How do they know our needs?
They asked.
And they listen.
Crazy, right?
If you're ready for something different, make the switch. Get Cox Business Internet today.
Pardon the interruption is presented by New Ciroc Apple. Irresistibly crisp. Celebrate life responsibly. Part of Happy Hour. And in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Happy time, people. Happy 30th birthday, Rajon Rondo. As a starting point guard for the Sacramento Kings, Rondo was leading the league with 11.9 assists per game. No one has averaged 12 assists per game since John Stockton with the Jazz in 1995. For all of his assists, though, the Kings are 8 games below 500. They're unlikely to make the playoffs yet again.
Hey, you and I like Rondo a lot, but not as much as Julius the Dr. Irving.
Happy birthday to him, too.
66 for Julius.
Long Island's own. Happy anniversary, Knicks. On this day 5 years ago, the Knicks traded for Carmelo Anthony. I'm not sure how happy an anniversary this is. Anthony's a perennial all-star, but the Knicks have only won one playoff series with him, and their cumulative record in the playoffs is 5-14. He's a statistical monster, but his team has lost more games than it has won in his time in New York.
How many playoff series before that had they won in recent years without him? I mean, the Knicks weren't lighting it up. At least Carmelo Anthony made them relevant again, Tony.
We love him.
I hope his knee is okay. I like him a lot. I really do.
Happy trails to Jay Sean Tate's defense. Here's Tate banging his palms on the floor to show what a defensive study is. And here's the Nebraska guard going right around.
Up his head.
The moral of the story,
his
kids,
head's down.
Just play defense. Don't announce how great you are at it.
Just stand up there and look at the guy. Stop ball, I believe the phrase is, Tony. Stop ball.
Not happening. No errors today. Rare no errors. Today we go to the Big Ten. Let's do it. Bubba Watson won in Riviera. I watched that. Were you surprised that Rory fell apart?
I think you have to be surprised when Rory shoots 75 on a Sunday, particularly after eagling number one.
The Eagle then had like 8 bogeys.
That's a surprise. The Jets released Antonio Cromartie 1 year into the 4-year deal they signed him to last year. You surprised at that?
I might be on another team, but the head coach there, Todd Bowles, is a former DB.
Yeah.
And he knows what he sees. He knows. Bryce Harper says the Mets are the teams that beat in the NL East. Are you with him on that?
The 27 Yankees are saying a rival is a team to beat.
Well, they used to say, give me a ring.
The Nationals are learning their lesson.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly is going to enforce a no facial hair policy on his Marlins. Is this a good idea?
When it comes to management, Mattingly famously had a mustache with the Yankees. The Yankees had no facial hair for a long time. They're the Yankees. This is marvelous. Last one, number 3 Virginia at number 12 Miami tonight. Who you got?
I always sort of root for Virginia, but I think Miami is one. I do.
We're out of time. We're trying to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
ACC's an entertaining conference right now. They went by Maryland yesterday. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Check out the PTI podcast on iTunes.
Maryland's in the Big Ten, Ace. Good try. John Shea, thank you very much for the
1908, not 6, 1908.
This is Sports Center Live.
Happy Monday, TV time here on SportsCenter. I am Matt Berry. What a weekend it was. There was an all-time finish at Daytona, plus drama at Riviera. We're going to count down the very best from Saturday and Sunday because it was worth it. But I tell you what, we have a great show planned for you today. New Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, he's going to join us live ahead of the Dodgers spring training. Plus a huge game in the ACC on Big Monday. Doris Burke will get us ready for Virginia in Miami. But we begin with the NBA just because we have to, where Anthony Davis made the Palace of Auburn Hills in Detroit his personal playground yesterday against the Pistons. Listen to this. 59 points, 20 rebounds. Let that sink in as the 22-year-old became the youngest player in league history to drop 59 points in a single game, and just the second to have a 50-point, 20-rebound game, just months older than Bob McAdoo. The 59 is also the most scored in the Palace, topping the 48 LeBron scored in the 07 playoffs. It was, without question, the performance of the weekend. Anthony Davis joining us now here on SportsCenter. And Anthony, I've got to ask you, why were you so lazy yesterday?
I wasn't in the mood to play basketball yesterday. I feel like taking the day off and just sitting around and, just going through the motions of the game last night.
Yeah, clearly you went through the motions last night. And when you're an athlete, you know it's going to be a good game. At what point did you know you were in store for a big night?
I think it was one of my heat check shots. Caught the ball in the post about 9 seconds on the shot clock and took a dribble and did a step back, to almost the free throw line, a little bit beyond it. Kind of threw it out there, and then over-under Drummond, who played. That was great defense. I looked back at it today and saw the shot. And so that's when I kind of knew that, anything that I shot, it was a high percentage chance that it was going to go in.
Now, you said after the game last night that the rim just looked so big for you. Throughout the game, did it just continue to look bigger as you kept scoring more points?
Oh, yeah, for sure. When you get in the zone like that, the rim, looks very big, like throwing a rock in the ocean. And so anytime I touched the ball, I wasn't hesitant at all about putting it up. And I'm just glad it was going in. And my teammates did a great job of looking for me. We ran some plays out of timeouts and throughout the course of the game to make sure that I get the ball in my sweet spots. And, it was up to me just to knock down the jumpers. But the guys definitely did a great job and wanted to make an emphasis of me getting the ball.
Anthony, I thought you said something interesting there a second ago. You said when you watched that shot back today, I know it's your day off today. Have you been able to watch the entirety of your performance and what you were able to do last night?
No, I haven't. Probably watch it later on today or something, but I haven't got a chance to watch the entire game and see some of the stuff I made. Just, go wow. Probably some of the shots I took that I made. But later on today, I probably will watch the entire game and try to see what happened last night.
Anthony, I'm going to give you a couple of names here. Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal. You join them as the only players in NBA history to have scored 55 points and 20 rebounds in a game. What is it like to be in the same company of those two all-time greats?
Oh, it's an honor. It's amazing to be in a company with those two guys. With Wilt and Shaq. You couldn't ask for a better company as a big man. And I'm just happy that I was able to, do the things I did last night, but most importantly, get that win. So, but to be in that conversation with two guys like that who dominated the game with ease, it's definitely a blessing and honor for me.
Anthony, let's go big picture with your team for a minute. I know you guys struggled in the first half of the season. You guys are playing well since the All-Star break. You made the playoffs last year. How important is it for this team to get on a roll and get yourself back in a playoff position?
It's very important. Coming in after All-Star first practice, coach said he wanted to be the best team in the league for the last 29 games, 27 now. But and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to play hard, put a lot of energy, play with this desperation, and try to get ourselves back in the playoff hunt.
Well, Anthony, you get the day off today. Enjoy the day off. You get the Wizards on Tuesday night. And I'm expecting 60 out of you, or it's going to be a letdown.
Me too. I'm expecting that too.
All right, so we're going to go 60 points. We're going to back up your 59 with a 60. Hey, congratulations on your performance last night. Best of luck the rest of the way. Appreciate your time here on SportsCenter.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little hoop on a Monday. Our Stephen A. Smith with us now on SportsCenter. Anthony Davis took some time to talk to us today following that monster performance, one of the great performances by big men in NBA history, Stephen A. Smith. So sum up what you saw in the 22-year-old.
It was spectacular. Very impressive. 59 and 20, 24 and 34 shooting from the field. The guy's got a mid-range game that's unrivaled by many. He can hit perimeter shots. He can go to the hole. He can play with his back to the basket or facing the basket. He can finish on the break. He hits a lot of his free throws. He's incredibly impressive. He just has no help right now. We're looking at him and we haven't been talking about him, Matt, because when you look at it, the expectations were out there for the Pelicans, and they haven't lived up to it. But you got a new coach. Monty Williams is out. Alvin Gentry is in. Eric Gordon's a shell of himself. Tyreek Evans is out. Drew Holiday has been fighting through injuries. You have minimal help in the Western Conference with a new system and a new regime in place. It's going to stand to reason that you're going to struggle. But he's averaging 24 and 10 on 50% shooting from the field. And by the way, he's also averaging 2.2 blocks per game. The guy is legit, no question about it. It's just that you need help in the NBA, particularly within the Western Conference.
And if we're not talking about a guy who's got seemingly all NBA talent, doing a performance like this is going to get you talked about.
No question.
Here on SportsCenter. Switching gears out of a team that doesn't need any help getting attention, the Golden State Warriors going for 50 wins tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. They pick up Anderson Varejao. They get him from Cleveland. This is a team in the Warriors that don't really need much help. But what could they get? How could they use Varejao?
Well, you're getting a guy that's been synonymous with the Cleveland Cavaliers organization that was there for Blatt, and he's been there for a few games, at least the last 12 to 13 games or so, with Tyronn Lue. Has a lot of familiarity with players. Now, if you're the Golden State Warriors, you may not need it because you just beat them in the NBA Finals. But remember, they didn't have Kevin Love for the Finals. Kyrie Irving went down in Game 1. This is a guy that's played with his teammates. He knows the ins and outs, all the nuances, the weaknesses, and the strengths of each individual player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if you're going to play against Cleveland in the Finals, he comes in very handy then. Outside of that, he's just another player that used to be good, but you know, time has passed.
Just a guy now.
He's just a guy. I'm not disrespecting him because he was good when he was healthy and younger.
Sure.
But as age and attrition have kicked in, he's been a relative non-factor. We all understand that outside of being really good friends and someone beloved by LeBron James. What else is he? He's a guy that's synonymous with the Cavaliers organization, who they were very sad to have let go, and he was very sad to have departed from the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's about all there is to say.
Nothing wrong with being a walking scouting report. If you can come in and help a team get paid to be in the NBA, perhaps win a ring with the Warriors, Varejao could get that as the season progresses. Speaking of the Cleveland Cavaliers, you brought it up a second ago, Kyrie Irving left yesterday's game, had a bit of a stomach bug going on. The Cavaliers, no problem in the victory yesterday, but the story coming out of this game is we saw LeBron James running the ball, moving the ball. He can do everything, but in your mind, how can LeBron in this role help the Cavs moving forward if it's something they choose they want to do more?
Well, he always plays this role to some degree. He did so in Miami to some degree. He does it to Cleveland from time to time because Kyrie Irving is really just a miniature point guard body, but he's a scoring machine. He's not the quintessential point guard. When you look at that and you look at the fact that Tyronn Lue has incorporated a more up-tempo style, they spread the floor better, they share the basketball better, they seem to trust each other a little bit more and enjoy playing the game. You're seeing other guys like the J.R. Smith, Richard Jefferson comes on the bench, gives you 15 yesterday, Timothy Mozgov drops in 10 or 11 points, Tristan Thompson grabs 14 rebounds. So LeBron definitely can facilitate the success of other players, but give credit to Tyronn Lue more so than anybody else, because the brand of basketball that they're incorporating works well for them. But also take into account that it did come against the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday, a team ranked 16th defensively, really struggles to stop people in this day and age, are struggling to get other guys involved, the Serge Ibaka's, the Enes Kanters of the world, and others. And Kevin Durant, no disrespect, because we all know he's a superstar, but this superstar has lost 17 of 21 meetings against LeBron, including 13 of the last 17. For some reason, LeBron seems to have is nothing.
And we see that throughout the course of time with certain players. I wanted to follow up on that real quick, because I know Cleveland gets bashed a lot for how they don't have much success against the best teams in the Western Conference. So you don't think this win against the Thunder, the manner in which they won it, doesn't do anything for them to puff up their chest a little bit against a good league that's got their number?
It does something for them, but keep in mind that your eyes are not really on the Western Conference. Your eyes are really on the Golden State Warriors. They're the reigning defending NBA champion, who even LeBron James himself has admitted is playing with a bigger chip on their shoulders than a runner-up. So when you take that into account, and remember the last time you faced them, they were up by 43 on you. I was at that game January 18th. It was an embarrassment. It was a disgrace. It was a complete waste of my time because it was about 5 degrees outside. It's bad enough you're stinking up the joint, but we got the freeze too. So when you look at it from that perspective, there's no doubt that Cleveland remembers that. Yes, San Antonio is formidable. The Clippers are formidable. Oklahoma City is formidable. They're all title contenders. But there's one champion, and their name is the Golden State Warriors. And I can assure you, when the Cleveland Cavaliers think about a basketball team that they're going to run into down the road, the first thought that comes to their mind is that team being led by Steph Curry.
Well, maybe we'll see that in June with the finals rematch. Two good things. One, we didn't stink this up, but it is 5 degrees in here.
It is cold. I don't understand that. I really, really don't.
A lot of lights.
Yeah.
My plan was to try to win this game tonight and to really take it all in and to enjoy being a part of this journey. And it's definitely been a heck of a ride. We just kept hanging in there, kept fighting. I'm looking forward to celebrate with my family and friends tonight.
Our NFL insider, Ed Werder, here to talk a little bit of NFL. March 9th, the new league year in the NFL. We tend to throw a party around here at ESPN, and that happens. We wish each other Happy New Year. It could also be the date we hear about Peyton's future. Why March 9th?
Well, that's the date by which he, by contract, has to take and pass a mandatory physical. And if he does, then his $19 million salary for 2016 becomes fully guaranteed. So sometime between now and then, the Broncos either have to release him, which will be a difficult PR move because he's been to 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, or Peyton Manning could potentially retire, which most people expect will be the outcome. But the difficulty there, Matt, is if he retires, the Broncos still have him under contract for another year, so they have his rights. And although there's been no indication Peyton wants to play for a third NFL team in his career, if he decided after he retired that he wanted to unretire a la Brett Favre, then it would be more difficult for him to go wherever he wanted because he would still owe the Broncos a contract.
That Brock Osweiler decision hanging out there. And he talked about a PR move, and I thought that's interesting because we're talking about now reportedly asking pass rusher DeMarcus Ware to take a pay cut, and that if he doesn't, they might release him. How is this good business on their part?
Well, this is exactly how John Elway and the Broncos got DeMarcus Ware from the Cowboys 2 years ago. The Cowboys decided he was a declining player, wasn't going to be elite, had a bad injury history, was never going to be dominant again, and so they tried to cut his salary. He went to free agency. The Broncos signed him the very first day. He's been there ever since. He's fulfilled 2 of the 3 years under contract. He's signed for $11.7 million this year. The problem is Von Miller, the MVP of the Super Bowl, might have to be franchise tagged. If he is, then that costs $13.4 million. Are the Broncos willing to pay $25 million to 2 edge rushers, one of whom missed 5 games last year?
Problems when you're on top. You have to make all these decisions, especially when you're loaded with that kind of talent. You mentioned the Cowboys, the team DeMarcus Ware came from. At the quarterback position, they're 1-12 in games started by backup quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons. Romo's never healthy. This guy, RG3, presumably on the market. Johnny Manziel on the market, but we're going to focus on this guy. Why might he not be a good fit for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys?
Well, the Cowboys obviously have to resolve their quarterback situation because of the statistic you just cited. Obviously, it cost them dearly last year. And Romo at 36, he's fractured his collarbone now 3 times in 5 years. He is going to have surgery in all probability, 1 of 2, to fortify that collarbone. Johnny Manziel would have been intriguing because of what Jerry Jones thinks of him. But not everybody in Dallas thinks that RG3 is a great fit for the way the Cowboys system functions, the demands it places on a quarterback. In fact, I'm told that their offensive coordinator, Scott Linehan, is someone who is not a fan of RG3 and doesn't think that he would fit well in their system. Obviously, he's a proponent of Kellen Moore, who started the last game of the season and threw for 400 yards. And the Cowboys could certainly draft a quarterback. I don't know if they'll draft one at number 4. I wouldn't rule it out at this point. They're kind of where the Packers were in 2008. Do you draft somebody to help Tony Romo or Brett Favre take that next step and win a championship? Or Do you draft their eventual replacement?
How did that work out for them?
Worked out great for the Packers, I think everybody would agree.
Well.
Not so great for Favre.
No, Favre was kind of like, hey, we got our guy now, but we'll see what happens with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. By the way, we go back to our Dallas days. I see you.
A little goatee.
Yeah, I like that.
A little lighter than I might have
Yeah,
thought.
it would take me a year to grow that. Ed Warner, just facial hair on Sports Center.
You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
36 years to the day we relive one of the greatest moments in sports history, the miracle on ice. Plus, one-on-one with the new champion, Holly Holm tells us how her life has changed since taking down Ronda Rousey.
Across the line, Schneider shooting! Oh, what a save!
And in case you missed anything amazing, you'll see it right here. It's the top 10 plays of the week, and we're off and running. This is Sports Center.
I have no idea how we won that race. It's part of baseball and part of sports. And next time these guys are in that position, they've got to close it out better.
Brace yourself. The first ever GSF is here. With a 467 horsepower V8 engine, torque vectoring differential, and Brembo brakes. It's the next expression of F performance from Lexus.
Prices are dropping at Rent-A-Center during the winter deal sale. Right now, save on an Amana washer and dryer pair, a 50-inch Vizio Smart TV, or an Acer 2-in-1 notebook. Your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
Patented Prestone stops engine corrosion before it can even start with Core Guard inhibitors. And you didn't think antifreeze was sexy. For longer engine life, Prestone it.
My computer's dying again.
You'll need to email us so we can issue you a ticket.
Put you right here.
It's protocol.
Or you can try the Staples Tech Services next day guarantee. It's fast and done right. I'll do that instead.
That's not protocol, Marsha. In by noon, out by 5 the next day. Staples. Make more happen.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more.
Can I get pizza for the whole team?
You got it, Mr. Cuban. Just $5 each.
Wings and a Hershey's cookie for $5 each?
Yes. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
Hey! I like your ride. I just want to let you know. You can save a ton by switching to Progressive. Just like Squirrel here. We offer great discounts, like responsible riders, paid in full, and homeowners. Making us #1 in motorcycle insurance. Isn't this romantic?
It was.
Going the distance to save you more. Now that's Progressive.
Go through there, and it's 1960. I need you to prevent the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Hi, neighbor. You're selling your action figures. You love those.
Oh, my car needs a new window track, and the dealer wants a fortune. Time for desperate measures.
Don't pay crazy dealer prices when RockAuto.com has all the parts your car will ever need at half the price. Here's your window regulator. Pick the brand, click Add Part. It's easy.
With Rock Auto's low prices, I can fix my car and keep my action figures. And you too, Buster.
Rock Auto, all the parts your car will ever need.
All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
3D Touch on iPhone 6s responds to the pressure of your finger, so you can do a ton of stuff in a lot less time. Like look at a site without going to it, or watch a video without opening it. You can do pretty much everything faster. Shooting stuff, music stuff, couch shopping, shoe shopping, running, kind of checking a flight from an email.
I'm peeking my flight. I'm not peeking my flight. I'm peeking my... Wait, I missed my flight.
Owl photos, desert photos, photos of dolphins, high-stepping map, pizza gifts. It's all faster with 3D Touch on iPhone 6s.
Right now, you're not thinking about all the money you saved by booking your flight, rental car, and hotel together. All you're thinking about is making sure your little animal enjoys her first trip to the kingdom. what matters.
999.
I would like to make a difference.
Your job? Outpunch Triple Marshall.
I do a cop just like.
Somebody's cleaning up my bed as he wears a badge.
999. Rated R.
Sports Center, now streaming live on the ESPN app. Download the app now.
There's a lot of impact people that made the Dodger franchise what it is today. And for me to be able to put this hat on, it'll never be mistaken and forgotten. I look at it as a responsibility, and it's to kind of continue forward and do things the right way.
All right, so you heard the voice. Now you see him in person. Dave Roberts, new Dodgers manager, joining us live from Scottsdale, Arizona, ahead of the Dodgers spring training. And Dave, at 43 years old, you're one of the younger managers in Major League Baseball. And I wonder how your proximity to your playing days actually helps you reach your younger players.
Yeah, you know what, I think that plays into it. I think that you look around the big leagues and whether it be executives that are a little bit younger than as in years past, and managers the same. But as far as, you know, I'm not too far removed from being active and playing. And, you know, today's player, you've got to, you know, treat them differently, coach them up differently, manage them differently. So I think, again, you're managing the X's and O's and managing through a baseball game, but the relationships and communication, for me, is huge.
You know, you put on the manager hat now, you take a look, your pitches and catches are reporting, you're going to have your full squad soon. What's the first message you, as a manager, want to get across to your team?
Yeah, well, I can't, Matt, give you all my secrets, but I think that I'm excited. The coaches are excited to, you know, get the full squad together as we, you know, continue spring training. But I think the message is just it's going to be a consistent message and go out there and get better every day. And, you know, fortunately, we've got a great group of players that's won the division 3 straight years in a row. So we've got a lot of talent. But I think if we can continue to get better every day, then, you know, the wins will be there at the end of the season.
Yeah, I found something interesting. You came up with something called Coffee with Doc to get to know your players. How did you come up with that?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I was the one who came up with that. It's kind of a little formal, informal meeting with each player in camp, and I think that with Andrew Friedman, myself, and whatever positional coach is going to be in the room as well, we just wanted to kind of open up lines of communication. So there's definitely a lot of coffee in the room, but it's not as formal or lax instead. But we just kind of had that open conversation about expectations and kind of review the guys' years and what their roles and what we expect of them, and give them an opportunity to ask us questions as well.
And why do you believe that's important to kind of get that line of communication going early on?
Well, I think that any player, you know, I think in years past, and I know when I was coming up as a player, you really didn't ask why. It was kind of, you do what you do, and that's because the manager told you, or coach. But, you know, now, that's right. And I think that for us, the lines of communication and with data and information, all these different things, that players want to know why we shift or why we want to have this type of game plan. So I think we encourage questions, and for us to have an answer, I think that's a good thing.
You know, past 3 seasons, the Dodgers have been blessed with Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke as a real formidable 1-2 punch in your pitching rotation. Greinke stays where you are in Arizona, signs with the Diamondbacks, so now you have a challenge of putting together another 1-2 punch. What does that present for you and your coaching staff to find the guy who's going to replace Greinke?
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, any team would be hard-pressed to try to replace Zach Greinke. I do believe that his footprint, his mark on the guys that he played with, his former teammates, still lives on. I think that his work ethic, competitiveness, preparedness has made an impact on the guys that are still with us. But I think that with what Andrew and Farhan and the group, what they've kind of looked at trying to assemble a staff is getting quality arms. So I think that we're not really trying to replace Zach Greinke with one guy, but I think that our starting pitching depth we're very comfortable with.
And you guys certainly know what it takes to win the division out there. Dave, we really appreciate your time here on SportsCenter. It's the best time of year. Baseball's back. Good luck to you guys this season, all right?
All right. right, Matt. Take care.
All right. Dave Roberts, new Dodgers manager here on SportsCenter. Sticking in the NL now, Bryce Harper is going to try to replicate a tremendous MVP season last year, where he posted a mark of 9.9 wins above replacement. Since 1900, only 3 other players have posted that mark in their age 22 season or younger. Mike Trout, Ted Williams, Rogers Hornsby. Not bad. However, Harper is the only one that won the MVP in that season. You remember last year, Harper in his dust-up with Jonathan Papelbon. The MVP spoke on that earlier today.
You know, it's just something that happened, something that, you know, got blown up out of proportion inside, you know, definitely with the media and whatnot. It was, you know, squashed that day, and, you know, things that happened during the year, and it's just part of baseball and part of sports and life, and you just try to, you know, build from that and do everything you can to not let it happen again. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we can go about it the right way this year and do everything we can to come together as a team, as a family, and you know, that's all that matters. I just want to win. I just want to be a family out there, pulling on the same rope every single day, working hard, and you know, doing everything we can as an organization to get better and win ball games. I don't think I'm a leader. I think I'm more, you know, just a guy playing the game. You know, I think J-Dub and Zim and all those guys are the leaders. You know, those are the guys that you know, are gonna, you know, go about it every single day and do the things that they think is right for this team. You know, I'm not a very vocal guy, so you know, I really go out there and just play the game I can, and you know, not really take a guy to the side and, you know, in front of the camera and say, oh, hey, you got to do this. You know, it'll be more of, you know, inside the clubhouse trying to do everything I can to, you know, help guys out if they need it. But, you know, I'm still at that stage of where I'm still looking at J-Dub, I'm still looking at Zim to, you know, do everything they can to make the best moves for this team and, you know, play as hard as I can out there and hopefully, you know, lead by example, and, you know, it's the best thing I can do.
Out of the American League, Jose Bautista, the final year of his deal, coming off a 40 home run season and the bat flip heard around the world. The Blue Jays slugger said the club came with him 2 weeks ago and asked what it would take to sign him to an extension. He said he, quote, gave a number, but that he wouldn't negotiate any further. Here is Joey Bats today.
When somebody asks you what it would take, I didn't want to waste any time. If this is going to happen, I think it should be natural, organic, and quick and easy. It shouldn't be, you know, pull and tug about a few dollars here or there. And I didn't want to waste any time. I didn't want to waste their time or their effort. So they can start planning ahead, and if it's not going to happen, they have plenty of time to do so. And they asked me about 2 weeks ago, and I told them, that's it. Going back to your question, there's no negotiation. I told them what I wanted. They either meet it or it is what it is. My job is to play baseball, and I know what my value is. And I think baseball has a great way of measuring each player's value, and it's about how much of that are they willing to share with a player. I understand the business. I don't believe in the whole budget and payroll. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I know exactly how baseball works, especially a team that's structured the way that we are.
Our hometown discounts, as they say.
That doesn't exist. Not in my world. In my eyes, I've given this organization a 5-year hometown discount already, so.
Oh my. Listening to that, I would love to know what the number was. I bet it wasn't cheap. So Bautista currently has the longest active streak in the bigs with 6 straight seasons with at least 25 homers. All 6 of those seasons have come with the Blue Jays, which trails only Carlos Delgado for the most such seasons in team history. Staying in baseball now, Major League Commissioner Rob Manfred met with the media today. Among the topics discussed were the domestic violence issues facing his office, including those of high-profile players like Yasiel Puig, Aroldis Chapman, and Jose Reyes. Manfred spoke about baseball's new domestic violence policy, which states any discipline under the policy must be for just cause. It was Manfred this afternoon.
Let me be clear, we negotiated those policies. I think it, you know, for me, particularly with my background, that's a very important difference. And yes, obviously, the substance of this policy uses a just cause standard. It also creates kind of a clean slate. And so I am giving really thorough consideration to the cases that I have in front of me and thinking about their relevance, obviously, to the individual players, the individual facts, most important, but also with an eye towards I'm starting something new. It's important to try to get these as right as possible.
The commissioner did add that they are close to making an announcement on 2 of the 3 cases.
You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable!
Well, today marks the 36th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. Coming up, we've got a little history lesson for you on what else happened on this historic day. Plus, Miami coach Steve Arenega wired for tonight's game.
When we played Carolina on Saturday, our mental and emotional were not good. The emotional, we were too hyped up. We were not cool, calm, and collected. We were almost in a hurry. It started at 5 years old like this. My mother would immediately go to the door. My father taught me to make it louder and louder and ended up.
Once in a generation, a true story comes along that inspires everyone who sees it.
Get you a moment, I can get you.
This Friday, discover the film that critics are calling the feel-good movie of the year, Eddie the Eagle, rated PG-13.
Hoods up, America. Today is the day. It's time for everyone to pop your hoods. Get some grease on your knuckles. This old boy could have another 100,000 miles in him. Here, buddy. And a little free time and new spark plugs will have this rocket ready for launch. How? So get out there and grease that, tighten this, change those. With our help, you can always fix your car with confidence. Hoods up, America.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Prices are dropping at Rent-A-Center during the winter deal sale. Right now, save on an Amana washer and dryer pair, a 50-inch Vizio Smart TV, or an Acer 2-in-1 notebook. Your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
The all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Agile handling, available 12.3-inch navigation screen, and panoramic glass roof. Never has luxury been this expressive. This is the pursuit of perfection. Introducing the 2016 Domino's DXP with a built-in warming oven.
Did you guys order pizza? I did.
Find out more about this first-of-its-kind vehicle at Domino'sDXP.com.
So my kids don't have to forage. Got 2 jobs to pay a mortgage, and I've also got a brain. Life's short, talk is cheap. I'll be working while you sleep. Still don't think I've got a brain. You think a resume's enough? We'll step up when things get tough. Don't you want that kind of brain? A degree is a degree. You're gonna want someone like me, but only if you have a brain.
Make plans for NBA Saturday Primetime. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
So let me get this straight. US Cellular has the phone you're looking for. A network that's built to give you coverage way out here, where the other guys don't. And 6 gigs for only $40 a month. That's a lot less than Verizon and AT&T. So why on earth would you ever go with one of those other guys? Switch to US Cellular now and get 6 gigs of data for $40 a month. Plus get $300 back. Just saying.
To many, this dot is just the end of a sentence. Over, done, finito. But at GoDaddy, this dot, your domain name, is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website. Open an online store. Build your brand. You can even connect a domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. And GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a free domain with website from GoDaddy, starting at $1 a month.
This is the portion of the program where I, Professor Barry, looking like a complete idiot and dope on national TV, give you, the beautiful viewer, a history lesson. For instance, George Washington was born in 1732. He would later become our country's first president. How about this? Lee Petty won the first ever Daytona 500 on this date back in 1959. Back in present day, today marks the first time in 31 years that the Tennessee women are not in the top 25 rankings. That adds up to 565 weeks of being ranked. But the crown jewel of sports history on this date happened in Lake Placid in 1980, and it was a miracle.
We were the underdog. We weren't expected to win a bronze medal.
We're playing the best team in the world.
That was an incredible hockey team.
The big bad Russians, and they were really good. It was more than hockey.
We were playing for our country.
Here we go as the game is underway. The Soviet Union in red and the United States in white. Bud Snyder losing it after the point. Slap shot, and it was deflected in from the point. The Soviet Union takes a 1-0 lead. Pavlik taking it away to the U.S. Pavlik up ahead to Snyder. Slap shot goes in. Bud Snyder. That's the type of goal you don't expect somebody like Trediak to give up. Long shot, easy save by Trediak. The shot to the deal and scores with 1 second to play in the period. The United States has tied the game. 13 seconds left in the penalty. They shot the net like that and they score.
U.S. team is depending a little bit too much now on Jim Craig. He's making too many good saves.
It's like, wow, you know, can we do this? Is this going to be real?
First thing you do, you look at the clock and you go, oh, there's too much time.
55 seconds, but Mikhailov has the puck. Mikhailov spinning in, out in front, backhander goes wide. 37 seconds left in the game. Petrov with it, the Americans on top, 4-3. Long shot, Craig able to get a piece of it and leave it away. Out in front to Krukov, and it looks like it hit the post. 1 second left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes!
It's an event that touched the lives of so many other people. There aren't many sporting events that do that.
We kind of have to wait time. We're a lot better than people gave us credit for. The fact that we were able to beat that team that day in that setting, to me, was a miracle.
Hey, this day gets even better. That's because on the hardwood, Dr. J turned 66 today. The Hall of Famer is one of 4 players in NBA history to play at least 10 seasons in the league and be named to an all-star team in each one. One of his top high-flying dunks and glorious afro, Irving was selected to 5 first-team All-NBA squads, won the NBA MVP in the 1980-81 season. Also won a title with Philly in 1983. Happy birthday, Dr. J. Coming up tonight, big Monday and a big one of the ACC between 3rd-ranked Virginia, 12th-ranked Miami. Sheldon McClellan, 5 20-point games in conference play. Miami, tell you what, they're in a good spot right now in the ACC. Our Doris Burke is on the call for tonight's game, and you talk about the matchup here with Malcolm Brogdon and McClellan. 2 really good offensive players. So, Doris, what are we expecting to see out of these 2 offensive stars tonight?
Well, you have 2 guys that are 5th-year seniors who are relied upon heavily by their respective teams. You know, Malcolm Brogdon, probably as good a 2-way player as there is in the entire ACC. This is a guy who can make a ton of shots with great percentage from 3-point territory. He's a big body. This is a guy who goes 6'5", 215 pounds. And yes, from deep, he is as consistent as you'll find. And the other thing he gives you is the ability to go off the triple drive. Again, this is an excellent screening team. He does a great job reading. In Sheldon McClellan, you have a guy who is as efficient as any guard in the country. In fact, #1 amongst guards in percentage. And Jim Larinaga values heavily guys who are efficient, and that's Sheldon McClellan. He has an ankle injury, so we're anxious to see how that will impact his performance tonight.
Yeah, Doris, we talk about what this game means on a grand scale, both Virginia and Miami, a game back of North Carolina in the ACC. I want to stick with the Hurricanes for a second. What are you seeing out of this team?
Well, this is a team that shares the basketball, that is very good on the defensive end. I think one of the keys tonight will be Angel Rodriguez and how he performs at the point guard position. Does this guy do a very good job shooting open shots and making them, getting his team against the pack line defense into the kinds of things they need to do? Because this is a Virginia defense that has been as good as there is in the country over the last 4 or 5 years. It's been a staple under Tony Bennett.
All right, so tonight you guys are starting something called bracket practice, where the analysts all week in the games of the broadcast, you're going to actually pick a game from Joe Lunardi's bracket as he sits here today. You've got the Virginia region. So can this team make it to the Final Four?
I think they can make it to a Final Four. My question about whether or not they can win a national championship, Matt, is all about on the offensive end. They're scoring about 71 points per game, so they've shown a better ability on that end of the floor. But what I wonder about is in a championship game against a team that could score into the 80s, can this team score enough points to win?
You know, I can use all the bracket practice I can get. So I'm going to be watching the game tonight, be watching you. It's going to be a big one of the ACC doors. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you talked about a big Monday in college hoops. That's why we call it that. Virginia, Miami, the first game, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Then we switch gears to the wild Big 12, Iowa State, West Virginia, the nightcap at 9 p.m. Eastern. Both games streaming live on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app.
Far side, bouncing off each other. Unbelievable. I think it was Denny Hamlin. Advantage.
So Denny Hamlin's photo finish in the Daytona 500, amazing, but there were a lot more that came from the top moments from the weekend coming up next.
Fast Break is brought to you by Axe. Find your magic.
Prices are dropping at Rent-A-Center during the winter deal sale. Right now, save on an Amana washer and dryer pair, a 50-inch Vizio Smart TV, or an Acer 2-in-1 notebook. Your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
999 is another job. Make a pull at 999. I do a cop just like that. He's my partner. You got a better idea? I'm gonna find out what you're fixing to do.
Something very big is about to go down.
999, rated R.
Not yet. Not yet. All that paint! You'll play.
At our house, we're always down for more. Case in point, our handcrafted skydiving chamber. Refueling.
Be hungry for more. Just never be hungry. With premium pepperoni and 100% real cheese.
Hot Pockets.
So your grandma wants you to visit and help with a few things. But last-minute travel can be pricey. If you visit Priceline, get a great deal, and go.
It's perfect, honey. Come to Nana.
If you don't go.
Ta-da! Oh, that's perfect.
Hey, I'm gonna order some pizza to celebrate. What's your social security number? Sometimes I ask.
Oh, it's 3
3
2 3
2 3
7
7
2
Whatever's on the line. Priceline. Come on. A six-pack? Who needs a six-pack when you got the nose? Or a nose when you got the suit? Now you don't need a suit when you got the fire. Or fire when you rock those heels. Or when you got the brains. You need some other thing when you got your thing. Now work on it.
I'm going to tell you something. It's going to seem crazy. That was 1960. I need you to prevent the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The past doesn't want to be changed. When you're close to changing something, and you feel it push back.
The first endless apps of 2016 begins now.
Kitchen, we are a go.
$10 still gets you endless rounds of the best appetizers on earth.
Roger that.
Endless apps are back at Fridays.
Folks, you can't make this stuff up. Four Bandits chose a Prius as their getaway car.
Bravo, Niner. Get pursuit of a Toyota Prius. Over.
How hard is it to catch a Prius? Over.
This thing is actually pretty fast. Over.
Very funny.
Oh, look,
Let's go places. Kick back and settle in.
Hey, what's up? You can turn the channel. Thank you for doing that. Welcome to Sports Center. I've missed you.
To end your day on a highlight.
I'm not sure. What did you think it meant? I thought it was LOL. No, it's not.
Sports Center at night, every night on ESPN.
To many, this dot is just the end of a sentence. Over, done, finito. But at GoDaddy, this dot, your domain name, is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website. Open an online store. Build your brand. You can even connect a domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. And GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a free domain with website from GoDaddy, starting at $1 a month.
Your home phone. You know how it works. But with phone tools from Cox Digital Telephone, you can do so much more with your phone. Like get email alerts for new voicemail messages. And get readable voicemail. And with the Cox Mobile Connect app, when you're on the go, you can still stay connected to your home phone with your smartphone. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Matt Berry back with you on Sports Center. It was one of, if not the biggest upsets in UFC history when Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey in UFC 193 to claim the bantamweight title. It was Rousey's first loss of her career, and now Holm gets to defend her belts for the first time coming up on March 5th against Miesha Tate in Las Vegas. All right, we're now joined by UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion Holly Holm, who will be defending her title against Miesha Tate, UFC 196 on March 5th in Las Vegas. And Holly, you of course got the Bantamweight title after taking it from Ronda Rousey. How has your life changed since winning that title?
Things have been really busy. I think that's the biggest thing that's changed. But as far as training, I'm back in. I'm back in the gym. I'm still doing the same amount of hours and the hard work that it took to have that victory, because I want to keep going forward. I want to have, I want to be just as prepared for this next fight as I was for the last, and that's what I'm in this sport for, is a passion. And so things have changed. They've been a little bit crazy, but it's just busy. I just feel like I'm just a little more busy, but I'm making just as much time for training.
We look back at that fight and your approach before and during the Rousey fight. What might you learn from that you might take back to this next fight?
Every fight we in our gym, our thought process is, these are things we're going to learn, and these are more tools for the toolbox, and we're always going to have them with us. So there's things that I learned in my last training camp that I will still take with me into this upcoming fight, and then there's all the things that we're, working on now that are things that we've never worked on that I want to keep improving on and getting better with. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to take with me from the last fight, things that we finally worked on and I actually did in the fight. To me, that's the biggest thing. If there's a certain, this is just one simple thing, but my last fight, I actually threw my first elbow in a fight. I know that sounds ridiculous because I should have done that by now, but once I do it in a fight, then it's like, oh, there it is.
We've mentioned before, you get your first title defense against Miesha. She's lost to Ronda Rousey twice. What challenges does Tate pose to you in the octagon?
She's got a different background. She's based from wrestling, but that doesn't mean that's all she knows how to do. She's a well-rounded fighter, and so I'm just wanting to make sure and be ready for all the things that are her strengths, but also I want to be able to capitalize on my strengths. She's obviously been in the octagon a lot more than me. She's had a lot more MMA experience, and she's been through a lot of battles. She's been down on the scorecards and been able to come back from behind. She's never mentally broken. She's very well-rounded and very unpredictable. She's really good in the scrambles, really good on feet or in the ground. So there's a lot of things that she presents as a threat, and I just need to be ready for all of it.
I'm going to go back to you and Ronda, because of course everyone in the sport is curious about a rematch. Where do the rematch talks stand between you two?
Right now I'm focusing on Miesha Tate, but obviously if there's an opportunity for a rematch, I'm going to take it. That's just the opportunity to fight her in the first place was there, and I took it, and that's my whole goal, is always just make the best of each opportunity. So if a rematch comes and that winds up being the next fight after this, then great, but right now I need to focus on Miesha Tate, because if I don't get through her, then everything changes. So I want to make sure and have my focus in the right place right now.
And to get that opportunity, March 5th in Las Vegas. Holly, we appreciate your time. Hopefully we weren't your day off from training.
Hey, you know what? This is my day off from training, but
Good.
that's all right.
All right, so go have some fun then.
All right. Thanks.
You know, we had some fun over the weekend. As promised, top moments, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, final seconds.
Georgia's on into the pass. 1 second to go. Ball game. Jackets win.
Georgia's Hunt, big run for the Jackets. Number 9, great weekend in hockey. The Panthers on Yammer Yager passed Brett Hull for number 3 on the all-time goals list with 742 goals. And the Lightning, Steven Stamkos, scored his 300th goal versus the Penguins. Great performances from both of those players. Checking in at number 8, Kobe Bryant's last game in Chicago. Pau Gasol gave Kobe a warm welcome.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you, for the last time in the United Center, my former teammate and my friend from Lower Merion High School, number 24, Kobe Bryant.
Tell you what, the crowds have been great on Kobe's farewell tour. A special introduction from his friend, number 7, back on campus, Kentucky, Texas A&M. 4 seconds left. Daniel House misses. Tyler Davis there for the game-winning putback. Davis just a freshman. The shot of the year, the putback of the year for Texas A&M. Number 6, Byron Munich, Armstead, Tomas Villar plays the ball off his chest, and a bicycle kick finish. Bayern Munich would win this one. Final score, 3-1. Number 5, Loyola Maryland versus Colgate, senior day. Loyola's Andre Walker sinks a 3-pointer with seconds left, but Colgate senior Austin Tillotson gets the shot off and hits it. What an amazing finish for Colgate. Tillotson, the game winner. Number 4 now, golf, Northern Trust Open. Bubba Watson, birdie in the 11th. Long putt. Oh, find it. Bubba, 15 under, had to come back on Sunday, his 9th career win on tour. Number 3, Minnesota, Michigan State. I tell you what, we talked about the scoring performances of that Anthony Davis early on. Minnesota's Rachel Banham has been on fire. 52 points to break the Big Ten scoring record. Minnesota wins 114-106. The aforementioned Anthony Davis checking in at number 2. He did whatever he wanted against the Pistons yesterday. 59 points to go with 20 rebounds and 4 assists. The 59-point performance, also a franchise record. The Pelicans would win 111-106, but it didn't get any better than this. Daytona 500. If all you did was watch the final lap, you saw that. Denny Hamlin, in a game of inches, gets the win. An amazing finish for Hamlin. Those are the top moments of the weekend. You talk about the close finishes to build on the Daytona 500. Remember 2008 Summer Olympics? Michael Phelps won by 0.01 seconds in the 100-meter butterfly final. Phelps won one of his 8 record gold medals, moving a horse race, 1998 Belmont Stakes. Real close call. Victory Gallup, man's got real quiet for the photo finish and win, but then I real quiet to flip the crown. And just 2 years earlier, we love these photo finishes at the Kentucky Derby. Grindstone rallied in the race's final strides to nose out Tavernier at the finish line to win the 122nd Kentucky Derby. Close finishes all around in a weekend of sports. I tell you what, after work, I'm about to be Al Bundy. I'm going to go home and just watch all kinds of college hoops on ESPN. The big one on Big Monday in the ACC. Virginia taking on Miami. That's a good one. Then you've got Texas, Kansas State on ESPNU. Then you've got Notre Dame on the women's side taking on Florida State. There's Kansas State and Texas. That's a big one in the Big 12 on ESPNU. And then rounding out a fun night of college hoops on the SEC Network. Number 3, South Carolina taking on Alabama in a big women's hoops hoop on a Monday night. College basketball.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium 1-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to a Hershey's cookie. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
Critics love Eddie the Eagle. It's like Rocky on skis.
You got more heart and spirit than any of those other jumpers out there.
It's for any generation that believes they can make their dreams come true.
This is your moment.
Eddie the Eagle, rated PG-13.
We're not saying that patented Prestone with core guard inhibitors is the best thing that's ever happened to your engine. Well, come to think of it, that's exactly what we're saying. For longer engine life, Prestone it.
Prices are dropping at Rent-A-Center during the winter deal sale. Right now, save on an Amana washer and dryer pair, a 50-inch Vizio Smart TV, or an Acer 2-in-1 notebook. Your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
My computer's dying again.
You'll need to email us so we can issue you a ticket.
Put you right here.
It's protocol.
Or you can try the Staples Tech Services next day guarantee. It's fast and done right. I'll do that instead.
That's not protocol, Marsha.
In by noon, out by 5 the next day. Staples. Make more happen.
I used to have to go in to the auto parts store. Pay too much, never find quite what I'm looking for. Now I just go online with Rock Auto and see all the parts my car will ever need. Lower prices, more parts, more brands. It's so easy to find the right parts fast. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
Rated T for teen.
Available now.
PlayStation.
Some people know how to make an entrance. To thrive under pressure. To reject the status quo. And they have no problem passing the competition. The impressive new 2016 Lexus GS 350 and 200 Turbo. Once driven, there's no going back.
Go through there, and it's 1960. I need you to prevent the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
We've got trouble in Tommytown.
Guns give your belly thunder. Big relief is the first responder. So you can be a business boy wonder.
Fix stomach trouble fast with Pepto.
The hottest performers. The superstar presenters.
All right.
The most unpredictable Oscars ever.
Nuts.
And Chris Rock. The Oscars, live Oscar Sunday on ABC.
The world a president has to grapple with. Sometimes you can't even imagine. That's the job. And she's the one who's proven she can get it done. Securing a massive reduction in nuclear weapons, standing up against the abuse of women, protecting Social Security, expanding benefits for the National Guard, and winning health care for 8 million children. The presidency is the toughest job in the world, and she's the one who will make a real difference for you.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
What's all this nonsense about balls? Pink balls, blue, yellow, red? It's hard to keep the whole thing straight. And all these so-called deals, well, they come with a lot of deal breakers. Like when you leave the city, the signal goes weak. U.S. Cellular built a network to give you a stronger signal when the other guys don't. And as for deals, how's $300 back for every line you switch? $300. No ball nonsense. Get $300 per line and a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Got Barry back with you on SportsCenter. There were so many protein shakes during Bro-Palooza this weekend. Rob Gronkowski in his Battle of Bros on the fun-loving Gronk party ship. 700 of his biggest fans returned to Miami. Look, I don't want to know what else happened on that ship, but Gronkowski, above anyone, knows how to have a good time in the offseason. Don't forget Super Tuesday, Avery Johnson's Crimson Tide taking on Tyler Ulis and Kentucky, 7 o'clock Eastern in the SEC. Then we head to the Big Ten. Denzel Valentine of the number 6 Spartans. Battle the Buckeyes in Columbus at 9 o'clock. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Hey, tonight after Big Monday, between Iowa State and West Virginia, I spy Anderson and Levy. Sports Center at night. That's tonight after Iowa State, West Virginia. Right here on ESPN, streaming live on the Watch ESPN app. Don't forget after that, you get another edition of SVP. That'll also be a fun watch. It has been a fun Monday here on SportsCenter. That's going to do it for us. Don't forget a monster matchup in the ACC tonight. Virginia taking on Miami. That is next here on ESPN. Behind me, I spy Chris Hassel. He's right there getting ready. He's going to do SportsCenter coming up next. I believe he's going to talk to Mike Scioscia, Angels manager. So look forward to that. Again, big night in college hoops. Stay right here on ESPN for that. I'm Matt Barry. Have a great evening, everybody. Enjoy the college hoops.
Welcome, everyone, to Big Monday, presented by Delta. Tonight, a critical ACC showdown between two of the best teams in the country. Number 12, Miami, and sharpshooter Sheldon McClellan taking aim at Tony Bennett's third-ranked Virginia Cavaliers. It's Big Monday from Coral Gables. Tonight's game from Bank United Center, part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, our season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. This game will certainly have an impact on the seedings in the ACC and NCAA tournaments. Virginia and Miami with identical overall records of 21-5, and they're tied at 10-4 in the ACC, part of a three-way tie for second with Louisville. One game behind front-running North Carolina with 4 games left in this regular season. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Big Monday. I'm Sean McDonough. Delighted to have you with us for what is certainly one of the biggest games of the year in the ACC, probably based on those standings you just saw, an elimination game for the loser. Virginia in control of its own destiny as they try to win the regular season title for the third year in a row. They have a game left head-to-head against North Carolina. Miami does not. They got hammered at North Carolina on Saturday, trying to bounce back near their locker room. Here's Doris Burke.
Sean, with so much at stake here tonight in Miami, only appropriate that Jim Larinaga channeled his inner Pat Riley.
Pat Riley came up with a slogan for the message to his Los Angeles Lakers, and it was very simple. No rebounds, no rings. No rebounds, no rings. He was sending a message to them that rebounding, it's a man's game inside that paint, and everybody needs to play big. Everyone's a rebounder. Not a single guy can play on the perimeter and think he's doing his job. You get, when a shot is taken, you get on the glass. We need rebounds tonight. By the way, the Lakers won the world championship that year by out-hustling, out-scrapping, and out-rebounding the Boston Celtics. Let's do the same tonight.
Sean, on the offensive end, as good as Virginia's defense has been, in the first meeting, Miami was able to spread the floor and attack. But Jim's message, don't think you can do it in the first 5 seconds. We'll watch how that plays out.
That was in mid-January in Charlottesville, a 66-58 loss for Miami. They were out-rebounded by 8 by Virginia in that game. Rebounding was certainly the key message imparted by Coach Larinaga in his locker room. Ready to go, Miami in the home white. Mike Eads, the lead official, throws the ball in the air, and Virginia, with Anthony Gill, won the tip. London Parentes runs the show. Malcolm Brogdon, Devin Hall, Isaiah Wilkins, and Anthony Gill, the starting 5 for Tony Bennett.
Interesting to note that Brogdon is not being checked by Sheldon McClellan. He's being checked by Davon Reed. And the reason is McClellan has been bothered by an ankle injury. They normally go head-to-head. They did in large measure the first time around. So let's watch how that matchup plays out. Brogdon versus Reed when Brogdon's on the offensive end.
The Hurricanes go inside out. Davon Reed buries a 3. That's 33% for the year from beyond the arc, but a terrific start for Miami.
Well, great ball reversal on the initial play. You have to be patient. This is a disciplined, early help defense from Virginia, so you've got to be patient. Move the ball side to side, get into the second and third options of your offense.
Brogdon, certainly a candidate for Player of the Year in the ACC. Gill had a good game in the first meeting against Miami at 15-8, and he has the first Virginia basket tonight. They go inside and a good catch, and Mike Stewart has a travel called against Tanya Chikiri, the 7-foot senior from Hialeah, Florida.
Well, watch what happens on the last time they enter the ball into the post. He's going to kick it out directly opposite, and you have to be able to handle the post trap. This is what Virginia does on every entry pass into the post. They double it hard. You've got to find the shooter opposite.
London Parentes, talented point guard, best three-point shooter, 5 percentage in the ACC, and Brogdon's right on his heels. Malcolm Brogdon, a 3. He's better than 40% for the season. That's his 55th made 3 and a Virginia lead.
He's just sensational coming off screens. He reads what their defense is doing and reacts immediately.
Long miss by McClellan, but the offensive rebound by Kamari Murphy, and Davon Reed has his second 3 for all 6 Miami points.
So why is Miami emphasizing rebounding? A couple of reasons. One, gives you second opportunities like that. No better time to shoot a 3 than off an offensive rebound.
It's a banged up Miami team. McClellan playing with a sore ankle. Hall, a sloppy pass. Angel Rodriguez stole it and took it all the way. This crowd is engaged early. It is a sellout. There are a lot of empty seats, people fighting the rush hour traffic here in Miami to get into the building. Parentes from Los Angeles. Well off the mark, and the rebound in traffic by Kamari Murphy, a transfer from Oklahoma State. Rodriguez transferred from Kansas State. And now Reed. Jim Larinaga talked about the need to be patient against this terrific team defense of Virginia. Shot clock at 2. A 3 wouldn't go for Rodriguez, who's under 30% for the year from beyond the arc.
How many times do we see that, though, Sean? When we watch a Virginia game, the shot clock starts to dwindle and you're forced into a tough shot.
They want to be patient, but if you're too patient, you can fire up some desperation shots at the end of the clock. Anthony Gill. And a rebound by Chikiri, who averages 9.5 boards per game. Miami 4 minutes in with the ball in a 3-point lead. Chikiri skipped it after the double team went away. Rodriguez, native of Puerto Rico. Chikiri a little out of his range, gave it to Reed, who was not, but missed anyway as he bid for his third 3 of this opening 5 minutes.
Reed is a key for this team because he can contribute in a lot of different ways. He's a versatile defender, can guard 2, 3, and 4. He can make shots and boards it. He gives them an awful lot.
Brogdon hesitated for a moment with McClellan defending. And up and down they go. Area whistle here in the first 5 minutes. Rodriguez had it swatted by Gill. Crowd wanted a goaltend. Some of them did. The pass surprised Murphy, who recovered in time. Reed trying to find a gap. Rarely is one against Virginia. And the 3 wouldn't go for McClellan.
See Virginia's back line. Here comes the early help, and everybody's in the paint.
That pass by Rodriguez hit Isaiah Wilkins of Virginia right in the hands. The way this is going, Doris, they might go straight to halftime without the whistle.
That's true. Virginia games tend to move quickly.
Parentes off the mark from 3, and a good board in traffic by Reed. You can see the aggressiveness in the Hurricanes going after these rebounds. Heeding the advice of Coach Larinaga, Rodriguez missed the layup.
8-2 on the glass, so the message is delivered, received, and so far they are answering the call.
Brogdon, that's in action. They run a lot of floating pass. Brogdon on the curl behind Gill, tough shot, and he made it. Anthony Gill, their second leading scorer for the year, averaging just under 14 per game. That's a career high for the 50-year senior transferred from South Carolina.
I think he's good. In the last 5 games, he was just 17 for 41. They need him as a capable, productive scorer.
Whether these players are getting tired during a lot of energy without a whistle for many minutes. McClellan, tough shot. Gill, the rebound to traffic. There are 4 players at the scorer's table waiting to sub in. 3 of them in a Miami uniform.
They get to the under 12 timeout before a dead ball.
Neither team has committed a foul in 7 minutes of action. Fernandez short with a 3. Rebounds blocked by Isaiah Wilkins. And Gill kept it alive. And still no whistle. Potential for one there. Gill got up limping a bit.
Yeah, he's looking on that right leg.
Gill, the offensive rebound.
It's amazing though when the ball finds your hands, all of a sudden that injury goes away, particularly when you're at point-blank range to the rim.
And now the first foul of the game. With 12:09 remaining, Gill called for it, and time for a breather.
It's a low-scoring first half. The first time these two teams met, the offensive rebound leads to a 3. It was an early, quick start for Rodriguez and crew. It slowed down a little bit as we go to break.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Delta, Cheap Climbing, and in part by the all-new Audi Q7.
Estimate 8 Foxtrot Alpha Sierra Echo Lima. I hear you loud clear. Shanghai at 1117.
Once you get out here,
Delta 185 is flight control. How do you copy?
that's all there is. There's just one direction. Forward. One time. Now. And there's just one sound. You and us together with a mighty roar that tells the world we're coming for you.
When Lakita.com sends Craig Wilson a ready-for-you alert the second his room is ready, you know what he becomes?
Great proposal. Let's talk more over golf. Great. How about over tennis?
Even better.
A game changer. The ready-for-you alert only at LQ.com.
Baby Dame Dollar here, trailblazing dimes everywhere. I'm even dropping dimes on my teddy bear.
I probably shouldn't have brought up how much money you could save with State Farm by combining your home and auto insurance around the kids.
Save money. Drop dimes.
I think it landed last Tuesday. 1 second it's there, then whoosh, it's gone. I swear I saw it swallow 7 people. 7. If I just pushed one of those people, it could have been Mrs. Johnson. Trust me, we're dealing with a hive intelligence here.
The all-new Audi Q7 is here.
NBA Saturday Primetime. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
Welcome back to Coral Gables, Florida. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Let's take a look at tonight's Sonic Showdown.
Well, you've got two fifth-year seniors, Malcolm Brogdon and Sheldon McClellan, both relied on heavily for productivity, both incredibly efficient. In fact, McClellan, by percentage, is the highest, most efficient shooting guard in the country. 52% field goal, and that 40% from three. He takes, in terms of the number of threes he attempts per game, just sprinkles it in, Sheldon McClellan.
Well, finally we had a whistle. 6 minutes and 17 seconds of continuous action between a travel by Tanya Jakiri that stopped the clock with 18:26 to go in the half, and that last stoppage on the foul by Anthony Gill with just more than 12 minutes remaining in the half. 1 point lead for Miami. And a baseline jumper driven home by Tanya Jakiri, who averages 8 points per game.
Well, what growth for Jakiri over the course of his career. He's gotten to a place where they will enter the ball into the post, run their offense through him. He's handled traps here tonight, and now that face-up ability.
Brogdon, and a hand check. Foul on Davon Reed, and that gets us to the under-12 media timeout. First foul on Reed, and the first Miami foul in the game.
Technology entire countries want to get their hands on. If they could ever catch you. The all-new Audi Q7.
Hey there, can I help you with anything?
Hey, Siri, what's AT&T's latest offer?
Oh, I don't think that Siri
right now, switch to AT&T and get an iPhone for free.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah, it's basic.
Yes, that is the current offer from AT&T.
Okay, Siri, you don't know everything.
Well, I know you asked me to call you the AT&T hostess with the most...
Okay, shut her down, turn it off.
Right now, switch to AT&T and get an iPhone for free. Plus, get up to $650 in credits per line to help you switch to AT&T.
I appreciate you coming by. Absolutely. The market's been pretty volatile lately. There's a lot at stake here, you know? Look, Jim, we've been planning for this for a long time, and we'll keep evolving things. So don't worry.
Knowing what's on your mind and acting accordingly. Multiplied by 13,000 financial advisors. It's a big deal, and it's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
Oh no.
Not my limited time only hand-prepared spicy smoky crispy KFC Nashville hot chicken with delightful pickles on top.
Switch on your light, dear.
My Nashville hot chicken's still available. Boy, I sure do have a lot of nightmares about chicken. It's finger licking good.
Think of it as a 7-seat theater for an action-packed thriller. The all-new Audi Q7.
It started at 5 years old like this. My mother would immediately go to the door. My father taught me to make it louder and louder, and it ended up.
Houston! That man can really whistle. He told us the story growing up in the apartment building in the Bronx when he was very young. His dad, concerned about security, had several alarms and locks. And when Jim would get close to the house, he didn't want to have to wait for his mother to open all the locks. So when he was 5 years old, he had that light whistle. And his mother eventually got to the front door. But as he got older, he wanted his mother to get to that door faster and have it ready to go by the time he got to the door, so he could whistle louder from a further distance away from the apartment.
As a woman of this generation, I could say I'm not sure I'd answer to a whistle, Sean.
Liz Laird-Egg, Jim's wife, is here tonight, told us he does not whistle like that at her. At any time, Mariel Shayoff in off the bench, and a good save by Darius Thompson, who's also in. Malcolm Brogdon to Thompson for three. He's been in a scoring slump lately. Jared Reuter off the bench on the offensive glass. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Tony Bennett, back-to-back ACC Coach of the Year honors as he led them to two straight ACC regular season titles.
Reuter in the game. I think the disparity in rebounding, he contributes immediately on the offensive glass. That's their 4th offensive rebound.
5.5 minutes per game for Reuter, freshman from Marion, Mass. Anthony Gill on the bench. The foul is on Tanya Jakiri, his first. 9 minutes in, Miami with a 1-point lead. Trying to bounce back. 25-point loss Saturday at North Carolina, a game in which they trailed by 38 points at one time. And on the end line was Anthony Lawrence Jr. in off the bench. Towards one of the benefits, if there are any, of getting blown out like that, they rested starters. They got some of their bench players some valuable minutes. Jim Larinaga said, yeah, I didn't really think we were going to come back from 38 down, so it was time to get some rest to some guys like McClellan who are banged up.
Right, it gives them an opportunity to rest that ankle that's been so troublesome. That's why, as you see, Reuter getting to work early, an offensive board, and now they go through him in the post.
The average is 2 points per game. That's 4 quick ones for Jared off the bench. Reuter's capable. We saw him in an ESPN game against Cal score 11 off the bench. Air ball out of the corner from Lawrence, who scored 11 points Saturday at North Carolina with the benefit of the extra playing time for the bench players. And Virginia, meanwhile, they haven't played since last Monday night, our big Monday game against NC State. So they're the much better rested team. Brogdon got his own miss. Went up hard into Jakiri. Neither whistled for a foul. Shayok, nice drive by the Canadian from Ottawa, Ontario.
Looked like he lost control of the basketball on the way up. So how about the athleticism, the body control to some degree? Get his grip back and still finish the play.
Juan Newton is in off the bench with the ball now. He's playing with a sore knee and a bone bruise on his shin. They weren't even sure if he played today. It was a quote-unquote game-time decision. The fall-off action, Anthony Lawrence was fouled. Matter of fact, Jim Larinaga said last night he didn't think Newton would be able to play at all. But he's in there. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com. Avery Johnson's Crimson Tide right on the bubble. Taking on Surging Kentucky and Tyler Eulis. And into the Big Ten for Michigan State and Ohio State. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN.
What a ride for my former Countdown colleague, Avery Johnson. I know it's been a little bit inconsistent, but the number of ranked teams he's beaten already, he'll get another opportunity against Kentucky.
Like Toby called for the Virginia foul. One out of two from the line for the freshman Anthony Lawrence, who goes back to the bench. Parentes has returned for Virginia with Shayok, Wilkins, Thompson, and Gill. Malcolm Brogdon getting a rare breather.
It's an interesting thing to have a week off in conference play. So they took Tuesday off, Virginia, or back to work Wednesday, then took Thursday off. It's sort of a delicate balance. How much work versus rest?
The rest is welcome at this time of the year. Gill, short, and off the hands of Von Cruz-Uceda. Miami hit two of his first three shots. They've made 2 of 11 since. Against this Virginia defense giving up under 60 points per game. Cruz-Uceda way off. But he's the player who they thought most benefited from the extra playing time on Saturday. He hadn't scored in 7 games, and he wound up scoring 12 points against the Tar Heels.
And you know what, Sean? There is no, even in a blowout, coaches are always evaluating players. So you make a terrific point that they have got to use that opportunity to say, hey, I've earned more time.
Isaiah Wilkins, the miss. 8 minutes to go in this low-scoring affair. Virginia's second in the country in scoring defense. Only Little is giving up 2 points per game. Cruz-Uceda stuck with it. Got the tip in. The senior from Madrid, who has family here tonight from Spain. biggest game of his career in this building last season. Led Virginia to an overtime win when he had 26 points. Much of that down the stretch. He made 5 threes. Shayok got it flipped away by Newton. Rodriguez didn't like the numbers and yanked it up.
You can tell this is an elimination game. The intensity level of both teams on the defensive end is pretty amazing. Get down in the stance, challenging shots, prohibiting triple drives. Both sides doing a really good job.
Missing from close range was McClellan. And the officials declaring it's a media timeout.
Every auto insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. Those who have served our nation have earned the very best service in return. USAA. We know what it means to serve. Get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Ever since we created the 4 for $4 meal, we've seen your posts, we've read your tweets, we've liked your likes, so we're keeping 4 for $4 going with a Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, nuggets, fries, and a Coke for just $4. It's the best way to get more for $4, now at Wendy's.
The yogurt made from your milk is delicious.
You'll play. I think it landed last Tuesday. 1 second it's there, then whoosh, it's gone. I swear I saw it swallow 7 people. 7. I just wish one of the people could have been Mrs. Johnson. Trust me, we're dealing with a higher intelligence here.
The all-new Audi Q7 is here.
Hey, the big bad IRS, you've heard the warnings, right? The freeze and seize maneuver where they can freeze your bank account, seize your home or business. They can garnish your wages, but here's the surprise. They don't want to do that. They don't need the hassle, the red tape, the paperwork. They'd rather go home and play with the kids. Seriously, don't make them chase you. Work things out. Optima Tax Relief is your advocate. The IRS has a program called the Fresh Start Initiative. You want to negotiate with the IRS on your own? No, you don't. That's what Optima does for you. You wouldn't go to court without an attorney. Don't take on the IRS without the experts. And don't wait till it's too late. Call Optima now for a free consultation. The Better Business Bureau has awarded them an A rating, and you will too. Optima. That's Latin for call now. Maybe. I don't know. I don't speak Latin. Google it.
For your free consultation, call 1-800-571-7292. That's 1-800-571-7292. Or visit us at OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Optima Tax Relief.
Studio updates. I'm Carl Ravitch back here. Jay and Seth will join me at the half. Texas up by 2, and Isaiah Taylor buries a 2. Joe Lenardi's going to join us, talk about how he thinks the Big 12 is going to get 7 teams in the tournament. Sean? Well, that'll be interesting. Certainly that time of the year where Joey Brackets is even busier than usual. Area coverage tonight. That's Ariel, brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Beautiful night here in South Florida. Sheldon McClellan drops a 3, his first points. He's their leading scorer, 15 per game. Scored just 10 in those 18 minutes on the sprained ankle Saturday at North Carolina. Brogdon. He might have gotten away with a little travel, a couple of little shuffle steps. It's a 3 and a tie game.
So how about they match up one-on-one and each gets a bucket?
Rodriguez with Parentes close by. Cruz Uceda back to Rodriguez. Shot clock at 6. And Newton a long way from the bucket. Found that rare seam of the defense and got fouled. So frustrating to Tony Bennett. That doesn't happen very often.
No, because because we talk about their defense. They don't foul a ton, and it requires multiple effort. I want you to watch the big hedge here from Isaiah Wilkins, and then he's going to have to recover to the shooter. So until his teammate, can get there, he helps him, and then he recovers to the shooter. That's multiple effort. Long way to close. He challenges the shot.
Two for Newton. Foul on Isaiah Wilkins, his first. The team's third.
The drive was a good sign, though. He's not shy. In that drive, you can see how aggressive and assertive he was.
Brogdon the miss. It's tipped around. Wilkins kept it alive for Virginia. So he's so active. He's alone from the free throw line. Gill, a couple of tip-ins, and the second one drops for the fifth-year senior from High Point, North Carolina.
And the rebounding numbers are getting closer. Virginia now competing. They're doing a job on the offensive glass.
So -1. Miami's out-rebounded 15-14. Cruz Urseda. How big was that playing time on Saturday? 7 games without a score. He was sick and missed 2 of those, but that's a long drought.
Yeah, 6'10", sort of that Euro-style game. Can go in, can go out.
The two veteran, experienced teams. Cruz Uceda's 24 years old. And he stepped into the passing lane. Brogdon, the senior, tried to find another senior. Gill, all the floater. Gill, with great effort, missed the turnaround, and Kamari Murphy rebounded, the junior from Brooklyn. McClellan, no sign of a bad ankle there. He exploded to the goal and was fouled. Anthony Gill called for the foul. His second.
You make a great point. I mean, it's Anthony Gill's activity. He's not the biggest guy, Sean, but look at him work. Just consistent effort eventually leads to a bucket, and Cruz Uceda, nicely done, just relocating.
Whoa, McClellan, 87% for the year from the line. Missed the first free throw. Both of these teams with some transfers. Miami transfers particularly important. McClellan came from Texas, Rodriguez from Kansas State, Murphy from Oklahoma State.
And Murphy's been terrific tonight on the glass. What is he's their best, most consistent, rugged, physical defender, Murphy.
Where Virginia have been these last 2 years without Gill, who came from the University of South Carolina. Miami demonstrating that Virginia is not the only good defensive team on this floor. Parentos with a shot clock at 30. And the best three-point shooter in the conference this year, way off. 4 minutes to go in the first half. McClellan bumped by Shayok, who was trying to recover defensively. His first foul. Team's fifth.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier. And Taco Bell's new Quesalupa. It's going to be bigger than, well, everything.
Getting unlimited data for your family is a struggle. Other carriers either don't offer it or it's too expensive. Not T-Mobile. Introducing the best data plan ever. Get 3 lines of unlimited 4G LTE data for just $50 each. You get a 4th line free. Yep, we'll give you a 4th line at no extra cost. So tell those other guys you're done worrying about data. Get 3 lines of unlimited data for $50 each and a 4th line on us. Hurry, only at T-Mobile.
Financial companies often speak about where they think you want to go, but do you actually know where you are right now? At Northwestern Mutual, we show you the whole picture, where you've been, where you are, where you want to go. And then we create a plan that connects the dots along the way. Our approach helps grow your wealth with investments while protecting what you've already built with insurance, so you can enjoy everything between here and there. At Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently.
Michelle.
This is gonna be bigger than Drake.
It's gonna be bigger than Morris Landing!
Jeez, Michelle, this is gonna be bigger than James Harden's beard.
This is gonna be bigger than those things. This is gonna be bigger than the baseball.
Dude, that's gonna be bigger than the internet.
Deal?
It's gonna be bigger than everything.
People say there's no limit to how far you can go. But ever since I started using new water blocker, the most powerful Old Spice antiperspirant in the world, I think I may have just found it. 1,207 miles per hour. That seems to be the point at which my rocket car starts disintegrating, leaving me clinging to the shell of an overpowered. Wow.
Kick back and settle in.
Hey, what's up? You can turn the channel. Thank you for doing that. Welcome to Sports Center. I've missed you.
To end your day on a highlight.
I'm not sure. What did you think it meant? I think I went well. No, it's not.
Sports Center at night, every night on ESPN.
Coming up on the Jeep halftime report. Me! We're in the bracket bunker again. We're going to talk 1 and 2 seeds. How are they moving around? And what if Virginia loses? Best conference in the country? We've got that too. Anything to keep Seth and Jay Will from dominating.
I'm a little disappointed he hasn't updated his bracket at the 12-minute mark yet.
I think Joe should lock the door to the bunker and keep Seth and the rest of those guys out. Right now, Joe has Virginia #1 seed. I don't want to give away the halftime. He has them as a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. That could change with a loss tonight. McClellan almost stumbled on that bad ankle. Murphy and missed. Great blocking out there by Virginia. Down by 3.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, Virginia all season has been a much better second half team, scoring the ball, higher percentage.
Brogdon might have been deflected by Kamari Murphy, who runs the floor and got behind the defense.
Play's been terrific. He's got 8 rebounds, just a straight rim run and put on the money by Angel Rodriguez. Good week out. You do not see that often. Virginia scored on easily in transition. That is not something that happens.
Mike Toby, a dangerous pass, but it got through to Jared Reuter. 10 on the shot clock, under 3 minutes in the half. Toby, from beyond the free throw line, he's capable of giving them offense off the bench. 7 points per game. He was the 6th man of the year in the ACC last season. Won't be this year.
He was terrific in the first matchup, in fact. Productive in both halves, like Toby.
12 points in the 66-58 Virginia win in Charlottesville a little over a month ago. That was a one-possession game with a minute and a half to go. Davon Reed fouled on the drive. NBA Wednesday, it's a doubleheader presented by State Farm on ESPN. John Wall and the Wizards matched up against Derrick Rose, the Bulls at 8th and at 10:30. Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs in Sacramento battle the Kings. Coverage begins, I believe, with Willis first.
It does, in fact.
NBA countdown. Charged by Dude. He slammed down a couple of dudes before the game.
No, they won't let me. I'm too hyped up anyway.
I think when I used to work with Bill Raftery, he slammed down a couple of doers before the game. Not true. That's at 7:30. This is Bart. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and ESPN app.
I know this. With me as your partner, you get a lot more sleep than you ever did with Bill Raftery.
Amen to that. I just slept when Bill spoke. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. Miami has opened up a 5-point lead, the largest for either team. And a chance to add to it. Their defense has been every bit as good as Virginia's tonight. And out of bounds, last touch by Davon Reed.
I agree, Sean. You know, we've talked so much about Virginia's defense, but both teams have gotten down into a stance. They've tried to lock up guys off the triple drive, contesting shots, even things that look easy at the rim. You see a late close and a hard charge to the ball. This has been an impressive effort for both teams defensively.
Top 20 matchup in the second part of our big Monday doubleheader. Iowa State and what? Very important game in the Big 12. Hornets team, 7th in the nation in field goal percentage, at just under 50%. They are shooting 28.6% in this first half against this spirited Miami defense. Tony talked about how perhaps North Carolina, when they lost to Duke last week, was even more fired up to play Miami. He was afraid now Miami, off the beating that it took at North Carolina Saturday, might be more inspired to play this game. It looks like that's the case. Both teams will be up for a game with serious title implications in the ACC.
I agree, but very good teams generally respond after a beatdown like Miami took in North Carolina. I think that was very much about North Carolina. Roy was hot after the way they lost to Duke, and his team responded in a big way.
Toby shut off by Shaqiri. That 25-point loss Saturday was the worst in Jim Laranaga's 5 seasons in Coral Gables. Brogdon down the edge of the lane and back to home.
That's the 4th leading scorer in the ACC, and not a single basket that he has made has been an easy one in this half.
Now called by Jim Laranaga. With 44 seconds to go in the first half, and the Kings up by 3.
Up to 3, and what a job they have done defensively. Malcolm Brogdon comes in averaging just under 80. They do this a lot. Flare screen, downstream for him. He is met in the paint, challenged by size. Shaqiri is an outstanding rim protector. Look at McClellan giving the easy opportunity, and then on this, the turnover. Some uncharacteristic plays for him, but he's got 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Every single one has been contested, Sean.
Underneath, beautiful pass by Rodriguez, and Shaqiri missed the bunny. There is a foul. And it's on Mike Toby, his second. It does put them over the limit with just 27.5 seconds left. Of course, we mentioned it was a one-possession game very late in Charlottesville between these two teams, and Jim Laranaga was talking about the free throw shooting. They went 10 for 17 from the line in that game. They're a much better free throw shooting team than that. They missed the front end of a couple of 1-and-1s down the stretch, and that hurt them. As a team for the year, they're 75% from the line, one of the best in the nation.
About a minute 34 to go. It's a 3-point game, and Miami got Cruz Uceda a wide open 3, Sean, that would have tied and changed the complexion. It's just amazing how quickly it can get away.
After this big Monday matchup and the one that follows between Ohio State and West Virginia, keep it right here on ESPN for Sports Center at night with John Anderson and Steve Levy. They'll have all the highlights from college basketball, the NBA, the NHL, the latest in spring training. Sports Center at night, right after Iowa State and West Virginia, right here on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN.
So you wonder about the Big 12, right? They got a number of teams in last year. It feels like the league is so rugged. Do they wear themselves out like the old Big East teams used to do when that conference was as big? You've got the ACC, where I don't think the bottom of the league, when you look, there's necessarily, I know there is a bottom, but think about Virginia's road losses early in conference play. I think every game is a grind in both the Big 12 and the ACC. You wonder, does that take its toll when they get into the NCAA?
Part of the impressive Virginia resume is the fact they haven't lost to a ranked team this year. They're 4-0 against ranked teams and playing one here in Miami tonight. Brogdon for 3. Out of the corner. Still time for a counter for Miami. Duke made it all the way to the arc. And I think they're going to look at the monitor to see if it was a 2 or a 3. Roger Ayers seemed to be signaling for a 2, and Mike Stewart gave the indication it was a 3, so they are at the monitor. But either way, Doris, I think it was in time.
I do too.
Buzzer for sure.
And how about the response? Great execution by Virginia to get Brogdon the 3, but look at this response up the floor, and he's in 3 before that goes off. That is nicely done.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a 3. See Roger Ayers pointing as if to say he was on the line or inside the line, but Mike Stewart, the other official, said 3, and it is a 3. So a 5-point lead for Miami at the half. The Jeep halftime report with Carl Seth and Jay.
And, of course, Joey as well. We'll get him in just a moment. Jeep halftime report, Seth and Jay. And Seth and I did a game a couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago or so. Hit Louisville, it was like 25-12. This one felt like that. And then just they burst at the end there by 2 teams with 3s.
These are 2 teams that mirror each other. Both teams play pack line defense. Basically, 1 guy on the ball, 4 behind in help. Virginia really struggles scoring because everything's done off screens. They don't have anyone to really kind of put it on the floor and make a play. Right. Great game plan for Miami. This thing's going to go down to the buzzer.
You know, it's interesting for UVA, too. They get this win. So you got North Carolina coming up on Saturday, game day, in order. See, I didn't give it away this time. I finally did well.
Yeah, we're really to Monday.
We are. Well, for Saturday, so that'll be a huge time matchup. I think London Broncos needs to get going. Miami did a heck of a job on Brogdon, but London Broncos is a guy that needs to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
I would have thought Virginia hadn't played in a week. They barely practiced. They feel really good about this, and yet they looked a little sluggish.
Well, I think when you haven't played in a week and all of a sudden you got to raise your temperature, that is not easy. The one concern I have with Virginia, Miami got out in transition. They only scored once, but they got to the rim 2 times. They got to do a better job in their defensive transition.
All right, you guys take the rest of this off. Let's bring Joe in.
We're going to let him out of the bunker.
Joey B. No, you never let him out of the bunker. He owns the bunker. It's his world.
It's his own bunker.
It's Joey Brackett's bunker. All right, Joe, so you get some 1s and 2s we want to talk about now, and then we'll get into the broader discussion of how challenging this job is this year for you versus years past. Tell us about the 1s and the 2s.
Here's the main thing tonight, guys. If Virginia loses this game at Miami, and it's a 50-50 game at this point, but you have to favor the home team, Virginia will slide to the 2 line on our board. North Carolina moves up, and they've kind of been sitting, waiting to get back there after blowing out the Hurricanes over the weekend. But Virginia benefited from being idle, while everybody else this weekend was losing. So I think this is good news for Carolina if UVA goes down.
All right, before we get into the conversation and questions from these guys, just sort of broad, how unique is this year, or is it the same every year, where you don't have a great team that's always going to be on the 1 line, and as you said, just the outcome of this game can move a 1 to a 2 and a 2 to a 1?
You nailed it, Carl. This year, because of the 1s being so unpredictable, I'm spending a disproportionate amount of time on the top teams when usually we're focusing more energy down at the bubble. These 1s are really not safe, with the exception, I think, of Villanova and probably Kansas.
All right. I know that Seth and Jay have 11 trillion questions. We'll try to get ready after this break. And assuming this game does end very quickly, we'll have plenty of time in between the games. We'll get into the conference conversation with Joe Lunardi. It's his real name, Joe Lunardi. We go by brackets here. We'll get into the Big 12, the SEC, and the like.
Available now.
Today's Diesel. Why am I a fan of Applebee's fan favorites quesadilla burger?
It's a burger inside a quesadilla.
Genius. Hot, melty cheese.
Fresh. Pico de gallo.
Whoa. Mind blown.
Everyone's a fan with Applebee's 2 for $20 fan favorites.
Before earning enough cash back, go Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back, everywhere, every time, and 2% back at the grocery store. even before she got 3% back on gas, all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank America Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Make plans for NBA Saturday Primetime. Warriors, Thunder, Saturday at 8:30 on ABC.
Toyota is a Reader's Digest most trusted brand. So check out Camry with a 5-star overall safety rating and a comfortable interior that's packed with the latest technology to help keep you connected. Now take $12.50 cash back on a Camry or choose no interest financing for 5 years, plus $500 toward your down payment. Camry helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places.
Let me get this straight. US Cellular has the phone you're looking for. A network that's built to give you coverage way out here, where the other guys don't. And 6 gigs for only $40 a month. That's a lot less than Verizon and AT&T. So why on earth would you ever go with one of those other guys? Switch to US Cellular now and get 6 gigs of data for $40 a month. Plus get $300 back. Just saying.
Welcome back to the Jeep Halftime Report.
I'm back with Seth and Jay. So we got Joe Lenardi, also known as Joey Brackets. This is DJ Johnson. He's got a much longer name than that, but as Seth one time recruited him, we go with DJ because that's what he prefers. Unsuccessfully recruited him, exactly. That game's on ESPNU, and it's a big one for Texas every game they play for Shaka Smart, so big one. Lowest projected tournament bids. How important is it to see 7 next to the ACC, Big 10, and Big 12? A lot of conference pride on the line. But since it is a Monday, we bring out the old Monday microscope. And it gets a little more painful this time of year when the microscope is out. Joe Lenardi is back. All right, Joe, so let's get into this whole conference conversation. And then I'm going to turn it over to Jay and Seth and let them kind of have at you in the bunker.
Sure thing. And when I look at it, I look at percentage of teams. You know, the Big 10, the ACC, they have 14 teams, so they're getting half in. Really good. But the Big 12 going for 7 out of 10, 70%, that would be borderline unprecedented. And they're all really solid at this point.
I think the Big 12 is the best conference of college basketball, not because they're getting 7 out of 10, but the quality of those 7 out of 10. I evaluate a conference on how many teams can get to the Final Four.
Okay.
And when I look at the Big 12, not only are they going to get 70% in the tournament, I'll tell you 50%, 5 of those teams could make it to the Final Four. And that's pretty good when only 4 teams make it to the Final Four.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Hey, Joey, I have a question for you going back to this two-line conversation. What do you do with Iowa? Iowa, they lost their last 2 or 3 games. They lose at Penn State. You know, how flexible is everything working with them?
I think at this point, Jay, they're more likely to go down than up. You know, they were kind of flirting with the one line and maybe spent about a half a week on the top line in that stretch when everybody was losing. I'm interested to see who ultimately wins the regular season championship of the Big Ten, because that team, if they compare it with the Big Ten tournament title, would have the best chance to move up and be on the top line on Selection Sunday.
Joey, in reality, this season, how many times? Look, we're talking about, if Miami wins, they're going to move to a 2. Carolina's going to move here. Virginia's going to move here. I mean, like, what's the reality? Like, every day, every 24 hours, we're going to see a turnover, not just the bubble teams, thank goodness, but we're going to see a turnover of the top 8. I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
That's the way it is. And the other thing I'm trying to figure out, Seth, is how you're going to get 5 teams in the Final Four.
I'm not as good a mathematician as you, Joey. I mean, that's just the way it is. But 5 are capable of getting to the Final Four.
Maybe 6 in that league.
Joey, last question, quick one. A lot of people say it doesn't matter if you're on the 1 or the 2. Does it matter?
I think it does, because you do get a slightly better path along the way. You know, 16, 8, 9 instead of 7, 10. Give me a 1 and I'll take my chances.
Do you feel the pressure of the microscope, Joe?
Not at all.
That boy. He's immune to it.
It's already a mid-season form. He's been under the microscope.
Immune to the microscope. George Niang playing big in Iowa State, trying to avoid a season sweep from West Virginia.
This halftime report is presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Be ready for anything winter throws at you.
When Lakita.com sends Craig Wilson a ready-for-you alert the second his room is ready, you know what he becomes?
Great proposal. Let's talk more over golf. Great. How about over tennis?
Even better. A game changer. The ready-for-you alert only at LQ.com.
Our next item is a genuine name your price tool. This highly sought-after device from Progressive can be yours for 20 grand. No, we are giving it away for just 3 easy payments of $4.99 plus tax. The lines are blowing up. We've got Deborah from Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, no, it's slow. You guys realize anyone can use the Name Your Price tool for free on Progressive.com, right?
Oh, I sure have.
I know it's like they're always on television. What?
Red Lobster's Lobster Fest is back, so come try the largest variety of lobster dishes of the year, like Lobster Lover's Dream or new dueling lobster tails. It's a party on every plate, and you're invited, so come in while it lasts.
For adults with an advanced lung cancer called squamous non-small cell, previously treated with platinum-based chemotherapy, it's not every day something this big comes along. A chance to live longer. With Opdivo, nivolumab. Opdivo is the first and only immunotherapy FDA approved based on a clinical trial demonstrating longer life for these patients. In fact, Opdivo significantly increased the chance of living longer versus chemotherapy. Opdivo is different. It works with your immune system. Opdivo can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work. This may happen anytime during or after treatment is ended and may become serious and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you experience new or worsening cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, constipation, excessive thirst or urine, swollen ankles, loss of appetite, rash, itching, headache, confusion, hallucinations, muscle or joint pain, or flushing, as this may keep these problems from becoming more serious. These are not all the possible side effects of Opdivo. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant or lung, breathing, or liver problems. A chance to live longer. Ask your doctor if Opdivo is right for you. Bristol Myers Squibb thanks the patients and physicians who participated in the Opdivo clinical trial.
This halftime report is presented by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Be ready for anything winter throws at you.
Only 3 different players have scored for Virginia. McClellan at the buzzer makes it a 5-point edge. If there's time in between games, we'll see you then. This has been the Jeep halftime report.
Own the detour. Own the view. Own the scenic route. The Own the Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Today, means something different. Some use beef frozen from far away. But Wendy's believes the juiciest hamburgers are made from fresh beef, raised right here. Land of the beef, home of the deliciously different Dave's Deli.
Welcome to London, Mr. President.
5 world leaders are confirmed dead. It's the president out. That's what I do, sir.
Now!
Race right back. Let's fall in March 4th. Every insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. For those who've served, and the families who've supported them, we offer our best service in return. USAA, we know what it means to serve. Get an insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Bring your all-timers and your all-day longs. Bring your hang time and your big time. You're unstoppable and you're unbeatable. Bring the pain, the rain, your ankle breakers and your highlight nails. Because in a conference where 7 of the last 15 NCAA champs reside, you better bring your A game.
The world a president has to grapple with. Sometimes you can't even imagine. That's the job, and she's the one who's proven she can get it done. Securing a massive reduction in nuclear weapons, standing up against the abuse of women, protecting Social Security, expanding benefits for the National Guard, and winning health care for 8 million children. The presidency is the toughest job in the world, and she's the one who will make a real difference for you.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
All right, and right back.
Hey, how are you, buddy? Man, no. Happy place.
When you bank with Union, it just feels good. You get free checking with no minimum balance, and a free debit card that earns rewards.
That does feel good.
Treat?
When you're ready to feel good about where you bank, bank at union.com.
Welcome back to Big Monday, presented by Delta. It's time for Who's Taking Flight, Doris, brought to you by Delta.
Virginia giving up 6.6 fast break points, number 1 in the country. In that first half, they gave up 8, including that big play to end the first half. A little bit surprising for Virginia. There it is, 6.6 points in transition. Listen, Sean, they've got a plus 6-point edge in threes, a plus 5-point edge in free throws. It's a lot of little things leading to the deficit for Tony Bennett right now.
So what do you look for in the second half? You said it during the first half, whereas Virginia, game to game this year, almost always has been a better second half team than first.
And not an anomaly. It's been a season-long consistent theme. For some reason, they score more and they shoot a higher percentage. I'm anxious because Miami's defense was as good as we've seen in any team in the country in that first half, I thought.
Yeah, perhaps beat Virginia's own game in the first 20 minutes. With great defense, discipline, and did not get impatient against that Virginia pack line defense. Miami ball to begin the second half. Sheldon McClellan, Angel Rodriguez. There comes the screen from Tanya Jakiri. This is Kamari Murphy and Davon Reed. They start the second half. Same 5 to the start of the game for Coach Larinaga. 10 to shoot. Brogdon saw that skip pass coming. Here he's done it a few times tonight. Malcolm all the way to the bucket.
No, you're exactly right. Jakiri every single time has looked to that shooter in the slot out of the trap. And Brogdon baited him to make the pass. Great anticipation. Good reading.
Murphy, trouble on the dribble. Corral just before it went out of bounds. 1 minute gone by, second half. 5 to shoot. Rodriguez went by the run out of Parentes. Murphy the tip. Murphy ripped it back. Rodriguez thought about teeing up the 3 and did not. Now he does. Angel Rodriguez.
You can look at his percentages and question that he's not the most consistent guy. But what I love about Angel Rodriguez is he's a big moment guy. He likes to deliver, and he's not afraid when the game is on the line. I know it's early, but nice play defensively here as well.
Rodriguez picked up the Wilkins pass. McClellan fouled by Brogdon. You see what Jim Larinaga wants. No signal.